Yo, 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 what's good, everybody? It's your boy, Miles Stacks. Welcome to another episode. She's not even an episode. Welcome to another live stream. You feel me? We live on the Peace of Knowledge podcast YouTube page and then Miles Stacks Facebook on Twitch and Kick as well. Welcome you guys to another live stream. Look, tonight we'll be covering Jaylen Brown being traded to the Philadelphia 76ers for Paul George and a couple of picks. We'll also talk about Norman Powell heading to Chicago Bulls. The Lakers trading for their 2 first-round picks for Walker Kessler, him signing an extension as well. And then also a couple more NBA moves around, a couple of moves around the NBA. Also, we'll touch base on Drake becoming the first rap artist with 30 songs reaching over 1 billion streams. And then we'll also speak on the couple climbing the Empire State, this couple climbing the Empire State Building, which the guy wound up proposing to his fiance. They did get arrested for that, so we'll also touch base on that too. So again, guys, we'll go ahead and get the live started. I'll bring our guest on as well. We have a returning guest. At this time, he may be our co-host, and he might have already signed out with my boy Josh. You feel me? And then I got my little cuz Truth joining as well. So again, I hope you guys will enjoy this conversation. We may have another guest join us later on in the stream as well. But you all know we're going to have a great conversation tonight. Again, we'll be covering all the free agency and trades in the NBA first, and then we'll get into the other topics as well. So let me bring them on, and then we'll go ahead and get started, man. All right, Josh and Truth, y'all on the stage. What's up with y'all, man? How y'all doing?
What's going on, man? Doing good, man. Can't wait to get into this. Can't wait to get into this free agency, man. We was waiting. We was waiting for that one.
Yeah.
We got it. So
we was waiting for definitely for the big day, man. Today, day 2 was, you know what I'm saying? When I got all the headlines going and everything. 1 second, hold on. Hey, my chat isn't showing up on my phone. Hold on, bro. What the? I see. Hold on. I see her on here, but I don't see her on my. Yo, Tynasia. Hold on. Let me start my. Damn, I gotta put on. All right, bet. Yeah, we appreciate you tuning in, Tynasia. 1 second. I put my glasses on, y'all. I'm gonna stop acting like I can see without these drawings, bro. 1 second. Can't see a damn thing. You feel me, Josh?
I'm rolling, bro. My glasses. Bro, I'm blind as a bat.
Hey, Josh, you was on you was on TikTok with me last night, right? For a little bit, yeah, man. You see me trying. I should have came with that one joint. Let me chill. Say nah. Nah, I'm boosting there, bro.
He was in there, Mr. Chatting it up. Bro was in there. He was sitting back.
You feel me? I had the list of questions out. Notebook.
I went on there. I'm like 15, 20 minutes passed by. I go back. I'm like, oh, bro's still up.
I'm still up. I'm talking about we grinding. You feel me? We grinding. She said, okay, all right, chill out. Hey, I had a joint call me yes, sir. I had somebody say yes, sir to me yesterday. I said, yes, sir. What the? Hey, man, look, I guess when you about to turn 30, I'm 28, y'all. When you about to turn 30, people start, like, you see me, Tynasia, she's one of my friends from high school and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Ran track with her. She called me Unc now. I mean, I guess when you reach 28, that's Unc status, y'all. Crazy. Oh, man. Look. It's good, fellas. Look, we'll go ahead and get started. You feel me? We'll go ahead and get right started, right to where we got to. Let me see which photo I got right here first, though. 1 second. I got to make sure I pull up the right one. No, this is Deion Sanders. Hold on, bro. Let me make sure I pull up the right team first. But yeah, look, we'll start right here. Like I said, breaking news today. If you don't know, look, we'll start right here. The Celtics did trade Jaylen Brown to the Philadelphia 76ers. They traded Jaylen Brown for Paul George. The Sixers sent the Celtics 2 first-round picks, as well as 2 second-round picks. I believe it's a 2028 first round. The Celtics will get the better of the 2 picks. And then also for 2031 pick, it's also unprotected. So the Celtics fan, all right, let me stop mentioning this. I'm pissed the F off right now, y'all. I ain't going to hold you. Like, listen, we signed Mitchell Robinson. I'm like, oh, last night we was live. I said, we not trading Jaylen Brown. I'm hyped. I'm like, yeah, we got an all right team. You feel me? You're like, what the Celtics going to do? Hey, bro, this right here is the worst mother effing trade I ever seen, dog. It's only bad because I'm gonna calm down. It's only bad because why are we trading for somebody He still got 2 years left on his deal at 50+ million a year. And then he just tested positive for PEDs and got suspended 25 games last season. Now, Jason Tatum, he will be fully healthy this upcoming season. He'll be back to his first team All-NBA production. He's going to be in the MVP race like he was before the Achilles injury. That's all good. But why in the world would you trade your best player from last season? Not only do you trade him in your conference, you trade him to your rival. Like, we're not talking about, this ain't the Brooklyn Nets, y'all, when they traded Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett to the Brooklyn Nets. We're talking about the Philadelphia 76ers, who already have an MVP on their roster in Joel Embiid, right? You feel me? They already got Tyrese Maxey, who's an All-NBA All-Star guard. VJ Edgecombe, who's a first-team All-Rookie. You trade him Jaylen Brown? Now, I don't know how it's going to work in Philly, if they're going to win or not, but they for damn sure got to be the favorites in the East right now. So last thing I'll say is this before I let Josh and Truth go. Brad Stevens, count your effing days in Boston, bruh. I don't know if you think you Danny Ainge Jr., but I got my eyes on you, Brad Stevens. I got my eyes on you for sure, bro. It's a bad trade, man. What y'all think about this trade, man? Damn.
Well, I'm gonna put it like this. Bravo, Philly. Y'all just went and got a top 10 player in the league for a pack of plant peanuts and Capri Sun. So shout out to the Sixers. I look at it like this, and this is just my theory, my conspiracy. Y'all can agree, y'all cannot. But I was saying it when Brown started taking that turn this season. Guys started coming up. I said, don't do that. I said, don't you do that. And I say that to say because I always thought that Jason Tatum was the face of the Celtics, and it's like a Batman Robin with Tatum and Brown. I felt like Brown got too much dip on his chip this season. He should have played his position and kept the Celtics at 4th through 6th seed. Tatum would have most likely waited out until this season came around, and then you guys would have been back in action. I feel like Brown got too much dip on his chip always in, and like we discussed earlier, going on Twitch, speaking on other things on top, everything else is like, bro, you dug yourself that hole. Because I personally still wouldn't have got rid of him, or I would try to make it work. But at the same time, he said certain things that if I was Brad Stevens, I wouldn't have felt ashamed to let him go neat. I get why the frustration is there, but I feel like partially, like 60-40, maybe 70-30, I feel like Jaylen does this for himself to an extent. And it's not solely just on the Celtics organization. I feel like it's one of those things where it's like he's standing in the doorway. They said, well, we'll let you out, but if you want to stay, you can stay. But don't act like you got to stay if you don't want to. I just feel like the Celtics, it was one of those things to where it was a clash. And like I said, we already know who the head person in charge in Boston is, and Jason Tatum. So I felt like this was going to happen regardless. I just 100% didn't expect it to be Philly as his destination. But kudos to Philly. If Embiid stays healthy, Maxey still continues to produce, and VJ gets a little better, even more better than he already is because he's already fantastic. I feel like they can definitely be a force for seasons to come. It's definitely great on Philly. It's bad on Boston for many different reasons, not just for the organization. So kudos to Philly.
What you think, Truth? Yo, Truth, you there? Oh, you probably muted if you got yourself muted. All right, well, we'll come back to Truth when he's back. But yeah, listen, man. Again, y'all, I'm not understanding the vision behind this trade. I'm trying to be all in on the Celtics. You feel me? Let me take this down real quick. I can't even watch him. I can't even look at them in the Celtics jersey right now. Listen, man. You feel me? Like I can't even look at him in the Celtics jersey, bro.
Y'all fan base better not do like they was doing with LeBron when he first left. Don't go burning his jersey. That man is, and before you go, bro, I do want to say this, and I'm actually saying this on some real stuff, because fans been getting out of control with this. You can have your opinions. Don't go out there and burn that man's jersey like he didn't.
Nah, burn it down. Burn it down. Say no,
Nah,
I'm
like I get it. But you can't act like that man didn't help bring promise back to Boston. He did, and even though things ended this way, you cannot take away from the things that he's done for y'all. It's crazy, yes, but it's business at the end of the day. We've seen crazier trades happen. This is crazy, but we've seen crazier. So please just try to, like, you can have your opinions, but don't go out there burning his jersey, ripping it up. That, I feel like that right there is taking it too far, because he is the one of the, beside him and Tatum together, are the catalyst for the success that y'all got. And I feel y'all got 2 finals appearances, 1 finals win out of them, numerous conference finals appearances. You got to give it up for Brown for what he did. Him alongside Tatum really put the hope back in Boston. So, you know, it's crazy how things happen, but it is a business at the end of the day. So it just got to be what it is. But don't go burning that man jerseys like he wasn't out there.
Yeah. Hey man, look, all I'm saying is this. They gotta understand one thing. You just don't find somebody that you just, it's hard to replace a player like that. Like, all NBA players just don't grow on trees. Like, granted, we get Tatum back, cool. But man, why do you break up your duo? You feel me? Like, why do you break up? They won a championship less than 2 years ago. Why do you like, what are you doing? Why do you remove somebody who just won a championship 2 years ago? I just don't understand the thinking behind this. I mean, the only thing people are saying is that it frees up cap space in 2 years for the Celtics to go sign a free agent. But bro, that's 2 more years of Tatum's career gone. Like, what are we talking about? Unless we were able to flip Paul George next offseason and we get a Giannis or Jokic, this is never going to be something you just overcome in like one or 2 off seasons, bro. Like, you don't replace an all NBA player. Like, I don't know what the Celtics are doing, man. I'm really dumbfounded. Again, it was rumors of him being traded. Like, honestly, I would have took Trey Murphy, Herb Jones from the Pelicans, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. But what the Pelicans package was giving us, I would have took that over Paul George. I'm not gonna hold y'all, man. Just for the simple fact they young. Like, Paul George got what? Another year, 2 years, maybe. But bruh,
Y'all
he's
got
been
Mitchell
hurt.
Robinson. That's actually something y'all needed at center.
But Mitchell Robinson, we already signed him. Prior to him.
I'm saying. So it's like, yeah, I know y'all got rid of. I know y'all got rid of Brown, but y'all got Mitchell Robinson. I mean,
yeah, you're on the stage now too, Truth. What you feel about the Jaylen Brown trade?
I was just wondering why. Like, why trade him to the Sixers when they're in the same conference? They play against each other. You just got knocked out by the Sixers. It's
thank you.
just a lot of whys. Like, why would you do it? In Boston's core, you traded up something that was good, was going. They won championship and everything. So it's just crazy to me that they traded. What they got, what they traded.
Yeah, bro. I'm not understanding. And again, to anybody who's a Celtics fan out there, I know y'all just as confused as I am. We looking at the front office like, bro, what is this? Like, are we giving up on the season before it starts? And granted, we signed Mitchell Robinson, but he don't score the ball. You feel me? Like, I don't know, y'all. Again, I'm gonna have to see what the Celtics are planning. I mean, I think they'll be fine next year in regards like regular season wise. I really do think Jason Tatum he almost averaged 20, 30 points before in the season. So he'll be at that level again of probably like 28, 29, 30 points a game, which is fine. But it's the playoffs I'm worried about. Like, it doesn't put us ahead of New York. It doesn't put us ahead of the Heat. It definitely don't put us ahead of the Sixers. The Sixers now, to me, are the favorites to win the East. I mean, they have to be. And the Raptors. I think now the Celtics moved to number 5 in the East. Like, just off of paper, just off a roster right now today, I think they're the 5th best team in the East. I just don't understand how you
Yeah,
go from the
Boston
second
definitely
seed.
gonna
Yeah,
be
you
in a
just took a step
dog
back,
fight.
man.
Boston definitely gonna be in a damn dog fight this year. That I can say. Y'all gonna be fighting for your lives in the Eastern Conference this year. You just said it yourself. You literally just said that like Toronto got Kawhi now.
Yeah,
Giannis is in Miami. We still don't know where Bron going. You got a healthy Halliburton coming back. They still got Pascal. They
yeah.
just signed Kelly Oubre. Uh, the Knicks is still the Knicks.
Mhm.
Who knows what the Bucks are gonna do? That's a big question mark. That might work out.
Oh, no, the
So
Bucks is trash, bro.
I wouldn't be so sure to say that. I wouldn't be so sure to say that. I'm not saying they're going to be top contenders, but I wouldn't be so sure of saying that they're not going to possibly make some noise. Don't be too. You never know. And I
I
feel like,
guarantee you the Celtics gonna be better than the Bucks. I'll give you that.
yeah, no, of course, but y'all are not going to be where y'all supposed to be now because Brown not there. Unless in that lineup, what y'all starting lineup is what is y'all starting lineup now? Who's going to get that
Bro, we
call up?
signed Mike Conley, bro. Like, what the fuck? Like,
He's
what?
starting.
Nah, he's gonna call it the bench. It's more likely it'll be, God forbid, but Peyton Pritchard, Derek White, Tatum, probably either Sam Hauser or Kada, and Mitchell Robinson.
Believe it or not, I would start Conley.
Hell no, that boy he's on my team. I can't even say he trash, bro.
I would start Conley just simply off of, yes, he's old, he's going into his 20th year, but I feel like outside of Chris Paul, Conley is one of those last of those type of breed of point guards. And even though he's in his twilight years, he can still do, and I feel like he can fit within you guys' system. I feel like he does wonderful with getting the ball around, actually moving around, putting the ball in the right places. So I don't think it's necessarily bad that y'all got Mike Conley, but I feel like y'all got to keep Peyton Pritchard as that spark plug off the bench. I feel like he's great doing that. I feel like y'all need him for that. So I feel like I would go on the lim and start Conley, to be completely honest. A lot of people might not agree, but I would start Conley, believe it or not, because
You would start
like
Conley,
said,
Truth?
Yes.
He can't score, bro.
who's the scorer?
Conley, you can't score the ball no more.
But he never really was a scorer in the first place.
But he don't play defense like that no more. He don't play make like that no more. That's why the Wolves let him go.
Yeah, but I feel like for the defense side of things, I feel like you guys can clean up where he lacks at defensively. But I feel like offensively, for the style and the system that Missoula built for y'all, built around y'all, built with y'all, I feel like Conley actually complements that. Because I feel like one of the things that was kind of killing y'all without killing y'all is y'all have great shooters, but y'all shot too much at times.
For sure.
And I feel like Conley is the type of point guard you need to get that ball put down on the block where Tatum is, to get Robinson involved, to get some pick and roll action. Not saying that y'all didn't have that previously, because you did, but oftentimes you really seen you guys put the ball on the floor, put up a shot, especially when Brown was there. And he could do those things. And I know Brown had the defense too, but why do you think Conley lasted 20 years in the NBA? Teams know what they got when they get him. And I feel like he fits in a lot of the systems that he's been with. I just, I don't say it's negative that y'all got Conley. It's just the biggest thing is y'all don't got Jaylen Brown. But I honestly don't feel like that's going to put y'all in terrible shape. I still feel like you guys are going to make noise in the East. I just feel like you guys might have a new system, or not a new system, but a more polished system of what you guys are trying to do. But I feel like I'm gonna still stick on that. I feel like Brown shouldn't have had the type of season he had. I know that might sound crazy to say, but I feel like that was part of the reason why they parted ways.
No, I'm saying, look, man, all I know is this. Celtics, you took a step back with this trade, man. I'm gonna see what other moves we do in the off season, but as of right now, I'm just not a fan of trading with your rivals, bro. I don't really care that he traded him. Like I told you before, like we let him go. But the fact that you trade him to a rival, I don't understand why you trade him to your rival unless he's going there to be an agent and he tanked the season. Hey, that's all I'm saying, bro. But we'll move on to the next team, bro. Oh man, sorry, it hurts, fellas. I'll tell you, it hurts right now. But all right, next team. We'll get off the Celtics, y'all. Don't worry. I'm not gonna bore y'all to death with Celtics talk. So the Lakers again, they made a huge acquisition, by their standpoint, by getting Walker Kessler, trading 2 first-round picks for him. Hold on, question: wasn't the Lakers? No, we'll have conversation about that later. It's all right. Let's go make credit for this move. Trading 2 first-round picks for Walker Kessler, gave him a 4-year, $130 million extension. Hey, young man, well deserved at that. They also acquired former Raptors big man Sandro. Mom, I'm just gonna say mom. And then they projected to have Jake LaRavia starting at the small forward. So all rumors or reports are stating that Roy Hachimura will probably go to the. Now they're saying the Pistons. He was reported to go to the Spurs, but the Spurs did sign Tobias Harris, and we'll speak on that after the Lakers guys. We have their roster as well to go over. So this is the projected starting lineup for Lakers right now. Again, they made some good signing trades today. They also picked up who's it? Quentin Grimes
and Colin Sexton.
Yes.
And Colin Sexton as their backup PG. So Bronny, your days in NBA, it may be. No, you know what? I think Bronny's an NBA player, so I think he'll get another chance. But to get a chance he was going to get a chance to play behind Luka and them. When I say that, that's why I say because Colin Sexton, he's going to play almost every game, and he's an engine. You feel me? Nonstop motor. How do you guys like the moves that the Lakers were able to make today?
I say, being a Lakers fan, and even if I wasn't a Lakers fan, this is definitely B+, A+ territory.
A+? Go ahead, bro.
I feel like this is B+, A+ territory for the picks we got. To break it all down from who we, from what's here already on the screen, Jake LaRavia showed flashes last year when given proper minutes. I feel like he goes with JJ's system well. He hits a lot of key shots in some important games for us. So I'm definitely looking forward to see how his game evolves. For Sandro, I heard a lot of good things about him. Seeing him, he was really efficient for the minutes that he played on the floor with Toronto. Definitely like that there. And Kessler, as we were saying last night, I feel like he is one of those. I feel like, guys mentioned, the Jazz did not see him being in their vision for what they're trying to build. So us getting him the 7'2", 250, I feel like for his size and stature, he's real smooth around the rim. And when given proper, playing time, and of course, personal reasons, he didn't play that much last season.
Yeah.
But I feel like he definitely, when giving the time, I feel like he is a quality NBA center. Definitely good to have in the Lakers system. I feel like he gives me, if I had to give a comparison just off of like play style, my opinion, shades of like a Timberwolves Kevin Love, or like
bro. Yo, Josh, you got come on,
That's
bro.
crazy.
Yeah, bro. What?
Said shades of Timberwolves.
You know,
Kevin Love.
Hold on. Kevin Love was a Hall of Fame player in the tournament. You know that, right? That's what I'm saying, bro.
I said shades of. I didn't say completely. I said shades of Kevin Love. I didn't say he was completely like him, but I'm saying Kevin Love in the sense of he can really do a lot around the floor. He's not just a back to the basket center. He can put it down on the floor if need be, and he's definitely a fantastic rebounder. So
sure.
That's why I said shades of. I was going to say like players such as like him, like a Chris Kaman, just players who like they might not.
That's a better comparison. Thank you.
I like that.
That's why I said shades. That's why I also said Timberwolves Kevin Love. I didn't say
but Timberwolves Kevin Love was the best version of Kevin Love. That's what I'm trying to say. You're talking about an all NBA All-Star Hall of Fame caliber player, bro. Like, what? Yep, bro. Oh, come on, man. Oh, come on, hold on. We not doing this. See the disrespect Kevin Love gets. Go ahead, Truth. I'll pull up these stats.
That's not that. Oh, here we go.
You know I'm a stats guy, bro.
I like this tree. I like them getting their picks. I do think LeBron leaving, did affect their playoff chances. I don't see them making the playoffs though. I don't see them being a stable contender or doing anything crazy in the playoffs. I really don't.
Over
You,
who?
What, the Lakers?
Yeah, who do you see? And I don't mean the top teams in the West. So take out the Thunder, take out the Spurs. But what teams do you see above us with our current roster? That to where you don't see us making the playoffs.
You still got Houston. You still got Denver. You still got I mean, you got the Trailblazers. I think the Trailblazers going to be good too.
Minnesota,
Minnesota.
that's 6. So you got
Who else?
Phoenix. You got Phoenix taking a step up.
No,
Mm.
I don't got Phoenix taking a step up now.
I got us over Portland, and I'm only saying that because Portland is still finding their way, and they're just bringing back Dame. They're trying to get in. They got a new coach. They're trying to get into the swing of things. Last year, I feel like only because who they played to get into the playoffs, they won. They played Phoenix, and they were not so hot at the time, and they beat them. But you seen what happened when they played the Spurs. What, they got one game on them? It wasn't like Wemby out or something like that. The one that they did get the win in or something like that, or he got out early, got hurt mid-game, something like that. So I feel like my Lakers is anywhere from 5th to 6th.
They're going to make the playoffs because if you don't have them better than if you don't have the Suns making it, because you already said 6 teams, that the leftover teams would be the Warriors, the Mavericks, the Grizzlies, Pelicans, Kings, Jazz. Yeah, I got the Lakers being over top of those teams for sure. So I think
that's what I said. I feel like we'll be 5th or 6th this year.
5th or 6th, 7th seed, worst case scenario. Because remember, Luka's if he's fully healthy, we're talking about somebody who's going to average 30 with this roster. At least 30, at least 33.
He's going to average these 30 something.
Yeah, he's going to average 30. Austin Reeves, he averaged 23 last year with Braun on the team. Without Braun there, without Roy there, he may bump up to about 25, 27 realistically with this team, but they need scoring. Like, he's going to have to score. Colin Sexton off the bench, Quentin Grimes, that's shooting that they didn't have last year. Losing Marcus Smart is definitely a defensive presence, but I think defense is a little bit overrated in a regular season aspect of things. Yeah, I see this team probably being a 5th, between 5 and 7. If Luka gets into a 3rd or 2nd seed, he'll win MVP. So that's my projection. He's gonna go for MVP because the pressure now is on Luka. Like, what can you do? Can you lead a team to the championship? We know you got to the finals one time, but the same pressure now is on LeBron. Same pressure that was on Kevin Durant. You feel me? Same pressure that's going to be on Wemby when he reaches year 8, year 9, doesn't have a ring. The same pressure Jason Tatum and them felt that they felt when they made the finals and lost. They still had to, you know what I'm saying, figure a way to get back to the finals and win it. You feel me? So Luka is now entering that, but I think he's year 8 at this point in time, year 8 or 9. So it's definitely entering conversations for him to lead the team to the finals or at least get them back to the Western Conference Finals. He's gonna have to show something this upcoming season for that trade to be worth it for the Lakers when they traded Anthony Davis away. But one quick second, real fast, y'all. So I wanted to when Josh comes back, because he compared Walker Kessler to Kevin Love. I want y'all to understand this. Kevin Love's second year in the NBA, he averaged 14-11. That's better than Walker Kessler's ever done. Mind you, that was his second year in the NBA. Kevin Love, after that, he went from 14 points and 11 rebounds to 20 points and 15 rebounds, 26 points and 13 rebounds. The next year, he played 18 games. He had 18 and 14. Then his last year in Minnesota, he averaged 26 points and 12 rebounds. And that was on 77 games played, y'all. That's why I said, when we talk about Kevin Love, we got to put respect on his name as far as him being he was on pace to want to be one of the greatest power forwards we ever seen at that particular time in Minnesota. I'm not talking about when he went to Cleveland and beyond. I'm talking about when he was in Minnesota particularly. He was on pace to go down as one of the greatest power forwards, especially rebounding big men. He's always going to be in that conversation. But all around talent, yeah, Kevin Love is one of the ones, man. So, again, this Lakers roster, only reason why I give him a chance is because of Luka, and he likes to play with Austin Reeves. So, I believe them picking up Colin Sexton and Quentin Grimes again was good additions to the team. DeAndre Ayton now moving to that big man off the bench. But then if they still have Jackson Hayes, they got a good group of big men. I don't know if this is more so like what Luka wants to play with, though, y'all. If I'm being honest, this roster fits him per se. Like Austin Reeves would be that Kyrie Irving piece. Jake LaRavia would be that who's that? PJ Washington ish. He's not PJ Washington talent, but close enough as far as fitting that Mavericks system. You feel me? But yeah, we'll add Josh back as well. So again, I do think this is it's not the same 24 roster that the Mavericks went with the finals, but this Lakers roster is something that Luka can at least get about. He could get 50 wins, 50 to 55 wins with this roster because it's Luka Doncic, y'all. We talking about if it wasn't for SGA, he'd be the best point guard in the league. I mean, SGA only takes it because he's back-to-back MVP. You got to give him credit there. But Luka is literally right behind that. You feel me? So, hey, 1B. I don't even see SGA is that much better than Luka. So, yeah, Luka is definitely that force to be reckoned with. If he's healthy, in shape, we ain't seen that Luka ever in the NBA. So, he had glimpses of last year before he got that hamstring injury. So, yeah, man, definitely going to look out for Luka. If you're a betting man, like that Luka MVP bet, you better get the odds now before the season starts. He may open the season up with like 40, 45, bro. But yeah, so shout out to Lakers for hey, they made better moves than we all expected as far as filling the roster out. So I will give them credit that Brown leaving did open up that extra cap room space. And then people also did inform me I think it was yesterday, and I think we mentioned a little bit last time too. Austin Reeves did sign an extension, but for this upcoming season, his cap hit was only $20 million. So that gave the Lakers a little bit of extra cap room. With Brown leaving, with Roy Hachimura leaving, they were able to add good pieces to the roster to make them a little bit more competitive. So again, shout out to Lakers. Rob Pelinka. I would give him about a B plus. I was messing with Josh earlier when he said an A plus. I thought that was too high, but a B plus for what they had to work with. And then they still got moves they can make next offseason too. So yeah, shout out to Lakers for doing anything. All right. And then Josh, you're back on. I'll just go over these numbers real quick. You said Walker Kessler is shades of Kevin Love. You said Minnesota Kevin Love. I ain't nitpicking your comparison, bro. But I had to just run over the numbers real quick. I said this. Kevin Love's rookie year, he averaged 11-9. That's better than Walker Kessler's career stats. But his second year, he had 14-11. That's better than Walker Kessler's career stats. Then his third year on, he averaged 20-15. So 20 points, 15 rebounds. 26 points, 13 rebounds. 18 points, 14 rebounds, because he only played 18 games that one year. Then his last year at Minnesota, he averaged 26 points and 13 rebounds. That was 77 games played, bro. That's why I said there's no comparison with him and Walker Kessler. Like, you got to find – you said Chris Kaman?
I said shades.
He ain't got no shades of Kevin Love in him, bro.
Like I just said, bro. One of the think about it like this, bro. We wouldn't have gave him the money we gave him if he didn't believe he could reach those heights. That's why I said shades, and that's why I was saying last night that I don't think the Jazz never had him in mind in their system that they wanted to work out with. They're trying to build around Keontae George and all the other guards that they got.
They traded for Jaren Jackson. Their front court is loaded, but.
Right, so I'm not saying he's a full-fledged Kevin Love. That's why I said shades.
Who traded for Jaren Jackson?
Like I said, there are certain parts in his game that remind me of a young
the Jazz.
Like,
yeah, no, I hear you, bro. I'm just saying it's his levels. Well, last thing I'll say on this though, y'all were afraid of Anthony Davis for him being injured. I do know Walker Kessler's already missed. He only played 201 games out of 328 games that he was eligible for. So. I know y'all wanted Anthony Davis out there because he's Mr. Glass. Y'all just traded for a big man who's already missed 100+ games, and he's only been in the NBA for 4 years. That's my last thing I'll say. That's all I'm going to say.
I mean, hey, he's in a better place. He's in a better predicament. He's in a better predicament. Like I said, the Jazz never had him in mind for their system anyway, so they wasn't
for sure
caring about what he was doing. I feel like he's in
They're looking at Jalen Doran.
Who?
The Lakers.
They're not getting Jalen Doran, bro. They made their decision when they signed Walker Kessler. That's who Luka. I wouldn't even give him Jalen Doran because of he's a small big man. You feel me? Walker Kessler. Rather, I'm a Celtics fan. That's why I can't get the Lakers that much credit. But all jokes aside, Walker Kessler to me, he probably won't be better than Jalen Doran, but he's still 7'2". You need that. And then you got DeAndre Ayton, who's 6'11", 7 foot. You need size at your bigs, especially in the West with Jokic, Wemby, Hartenstein, Chet. The Thunder just got a 7-3 center. So all the best teams in the Timberwolves still got Rudy Gobert. And granted, you may not like him offensively, but he did give the Lakers trouble that one playoff series. He had 27 and 24 in a closeout game. So you need size in the Western Conference because that's where all the big men at. I don't think Jaylen Brown is a traditional center. Him being 6'10 does, to me at least, affects him on a championship winning team. All right, now we'll move on to the San Antonio Spurs. They did sign Tobias Harris to a 2-year deal. I believe it was either $30 million or $31 million, somewhere around there for the contract. That's crazy. They still got this much money. But here's their projected start lineup for next season. De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, Tobias Harris, and Wembanyama at the 5. They also have Harper off the bench. They've now moved Julian Champagnie off the bench. Keldon Johnson is still on the roster. Harrison Barnes is still on the roster. Luke Cornett is still on the roster. So, hey, the Spurs legit have a 10, 11 man roster that, hey, they may not make the finals, but they're at least going to be right back to being the number 2 seed, number 1 seed in the West. This is why I said LeBron would have fit in, but Tobias Harris is a better shooting version of what Harrison Barnes was for them last year. We've seen Tobias Harris actually answer the call for Detroit last year as well, especially in the playoffs. That is what the Spurs were missing, like that wing that could just create offense for itself. You feel what I mean? So what do y'all think about the Spurs adding Tobias Harris in their chances next year at either making the finals, or you think they are favorites to win it all at the West? What chance do you guys give them?
I like this pickup. I think it spreads the floor for Wemby. It gives him more space, because Wemby is not really a true center, in my opinion. He's more like a KD-ish type.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I think it give him more space, allow him to get great shots more. And he'll have more post position. He have more space to post up. But I do think Spurs need a backup center though. They need a backup center, like badly.
Yeah, when Wemby gets off the court, they definitely need a big man. I mean, I know Luke Cornett is their backup big, but it's just something about him. I feel like this is missing in his game that keeps him on the floor long enough to really give Wemby a good chance at a rest. You feel me? And the Spurs too, they got to play on more than 30 minutes a game in the regular season. I think that's also a played a factor. Him being so fatigued in the playoffs is that he didn't play extended minutes in the regular season. Remember, they were shutting him down at 25, 29 minutes, 30 minutes. You feel me? They never let him go play 40 minutes, 44 minutes like he did in the playoffs. A player, no matter how young he is or how talented he is, if you're going to have him not playing that much minutes in the playoffs, you got to at least a month, 2 months before the regular season ends, ramp up his production so he could get in physical shape. You feel me? You can't get in shape in the playoffs because your body is conditioned for 82 games. You feel me? It's not conditioned for the next potential, at minimum 16 games. You were to sweep everybody, an additional 16 to 25 games that you're adding on with the playoffs, especially if you make the finals. You feel me? So you got to give him a better chance of getting in shape during the regular season. Granted, I know he had a couple of nagging injuries throughout the regular season too, but I'm just saying overall, they want to give him a better chance to be in shape come playoff time. But I do like the addition of Tobias Harris. I think the Spurs are going to be right back where they're at least a second round minimum. So my floor for them is the second round at worst. And then obviously we'll be making it back to the finals. I think they're primed to be one of those teams with OKC. They may just rotate of who's going to be the best in the West that year in the regular season. But I think Wemby is motivated to go for the MVP. So I would see the Spurs being the number 1 seed out West because he's hungry for an MVP. That finals is going to be haunting for them. So this team could kind of be like on how Golden State had that 73-win team. I'm not saying the Spurs are going to break that record, but I could see them being potentially a 65 to 68-win team next year because they're all young. But they've ended the year on disappointment with losing that finals, especially being up every game. you add a veteran like Tobias Harris to a team. Now, Tobias Harris hasn't won anything in the NBA yet, but he's going to be hungry too. So this isn't going to be a team where they're taking a foot off the gas from the league. I think they're going to be very motivated to really show that last year wasn't a fluke, and Wemby is going to prove that he's an MVP caliber player. If he doesn't win it, it won't because he's not trying to get the MVP. I think he's really going to go quote unquote balls to the wall to get the MVP next year. What you think, Josh?
I agree. I feel like they're going to be right back where they was.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little 50-50 with Tobias at the 4, but I can also see how that would work once again with space, and I feel like he is good with moving around on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like a lot of, forwards and big men is kind of like positionless in the sense of they don't play naturally like the flashy play. So I feel like it's the Spurs, just like they always do, want to find ways to make it work. So it's definitely a solid pickup. Tobias can go out there and get you a clean 15, 17 a game, which is well.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it at all. I feel like the Spurs are always good at getting those kind of pieces anyway. Like you might not think about it right off the bat, but the more and more you like see him in a jersey or see him there, it's going to start making sense to people why they chose Tobias Harris. So, hey, kudos to the Spurs.
Nah, for sure, man. Look, shout out to them again. A young team has added a veteran player that we all say they needed a wing. Let's see if they add anyone else in regards to an additional big man to the roster. But I'm not mad at this move for the San Antonio. Mitch Johnson, I'm not going to say you're on a hot seat right now, but listen, if you pull that BS again with not making the correct adjustments for this team, then yeah, you'll be out of San Antonio. Because you got too much talent on your roster for them not to be back in the finals. That's all I'm saying, man. I'm not wishing nobody to lose their job or anything like that, but I do think they have a good chance to making it back to the finals, especially with De'Aaron Fox. He's got another 4 years on his deal. They at least got another 2-3 years, but they can really make a run at it before they got to start making hard decisions on their roster. So, yeah, shout out to Spurs for making that move, man. I just want to speak on that real quick because I think that was a great pickup. It's a slept-on pickup, but for a team that just lost in the finals, that's a great pickup to bring in. All right, so we'll go to the next team, guys. The Chicago Bulls. They signed Norman Powell. Oh, crap. Hold on. Damn. I know it's a 2-year deal. I think it's a 2-year, $50 million deal, but let me just double check the contracts. I'll make sure I have his details right. 1 second, y'all.
While you doing that, I'm just going to say this real quick. I love Caleb Wilson. He played for my UNC Tar Heels. I like Caleb Wilson. I feel like I'm just putting this out there just real briefly. I think this roster is definitely questionable, but I feel like the only way to work, and I'm going to just say it right now, because I don't see it being Giddey. Either Powell has to have a better season than he did last year, repeat, but even better. It's him and I like him. I can't just get his name. Zealous.
Matas Buzelis.
Yeah, I actually like him. I wouldn't say sleep on this team. Don't look at this team to be winners this season, but don't look at them to be losers neither. I feel like if they can achieve close to 40 wins, I feel like that speaks volumes in what they can potentially do.
40, that's a lot.
Yeah, but it's not really I said close to. It's not really a winning record. Like you can't get into the playoffs with it or the play-in. But I feel like if they at least get over 30 plus, like I like 34, 35 wins, that speaks volumes in the sense of what they can potentially have. Being that they got new pieces, they got to figure out how to make it work. But I feel like Powell and Buzelis is the unsung heroes of making this work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Norman Powell, he signed a 2-year, $45 million deal with the Bulls, coming off his first All-Star appearance in his career last year with the Miami Heat. So, hey, great for Norman Powell. He stayed getting the bag. I ain't gonna hold you. Shout out to his agent. But Norman Powell, well-deserved, man. Congrats on your contract. Hey, I don't agree with you going to the Bulls, but he already won a championship with the Toronto Raptors. So I definitely understand that now it's about just cashing out, getting your money and stuff like that. Hey, so hats off to him in that regards. I don't see this Bulls team. You said about 40. Oh, sorry, hold on. I didn't even bring it back up here. That's not bad, y'all. You said about 40 wins for the Bulls. I can see that realistically. I would have them between the 36 to 42 range. So I'm kind of like where you at, Josh. I just feel like they're loaded at the power forward, small forward position. So they have Matas Zealous, but I believe he's like 6. He's between 6'9" and 6'11. You feel me? He's tall. Caleb Wilson's between 6'9", 6'11. He's tall. Nick Claxton's a 7-footer. So they're going to have a real lengthy team. But as of right now, Caleb Wilson doesn't have a reliable jump shot. Nick Claxton is more of a paint scorer. He's a lob threat paint scorer, not really a 3-point shooter or anything like that. So stretching the floor out. Josh Giddey, if you was rocking with Josh Giddey before, hey, we talk about Terry Rozier and Malik Beasley. Hey, look at Josh Giddey. He started the season off like a triple-double. All right, listen, y'all. He started the season off as like a triple-double threat. And then after a certain point in time, it just went downhill. So if anything ever came out that this man had, I'm not saying he was gambling, but for all the people who was tuned into Josh Giddey at the beginning of the basketball season to how he finished the year out, yeah, I was concerned that the Mafia got to him. But listen, all jokes aside, this roster here, it'll be a lot of highlights. The Chicago Bulls have been doing well with drafting players in regards to like showing flashes and highlights, but they haven't really put it together as far as winning goes. I don't know if adding Norman Powell necessarily brings them over the hump, but I think they'll be competitive. I think that's what the Bulls are looking for, to be competitive. So I don't think Caleb Wilson will win Rookie of the Year, but I do think he'll have a lot of good plays on his team. And yeah, that's really it. I just wanted to show you guys that roster after Norman Powell has signed there. Shout out to him again for getting another contract in the NBA. Well deserved again after making the All-Star team last year. Did you have anything on this one, Truth?
I just like to pick up. I don't see why he went from the Heat to the Bulls. I think he was money chasing.
For sure.
For sure. He got his bag. He was an all-star. So, I just don't have the Bulls making it. I don't have the Bulls, doing that much. I got them at like a 8th seed. They need a star. They need
They need a lot.
They need a lot. They need a lot. So yeah.
But it is a great chance that the Stars could be one of them. It's just coming together. Like you said it yourself, Powell had an all-star season last year alongside another all-star, borderline superstar player. I will be a superstar. So I feel like Powell being in a place to where he's not necessarily running the show, but he does have it's like everybody got the keys to take turns driving the car. So I feel like this might actually be, I feel like I'm not against the paper chase because that could play a part. He had a great year, so I'm pretty sure a bag was needed. But also I do think he's going to ball out. And I do think, like I said, I'm not looking at the Bulls to be any playoff chasers this year, but I feel like if they do hit that mid-30 win mark, that's going to show you like, okay, they do got something brewing over there. It might not be fully complete yet, but they do got something brewing. But I feel like if they hit those numbers, and even if it results in a losing season, that is still growth way compared to what we've seen. Because last year, did they even make the play-in last year?
Let me double check.
I know they made it in recent years. They made it.
They had it when he had like DeMar. Is DeMar DeRozan still? No, he's on the Sacramento Kings. I'm cheating. He's on the Kings. Yeah, I'm cheating, bro. Make the play-in 25-26 season. I don't think they did, but let me just double check.
Yeah, they probably didn't.
No,
they didn't make the playoffs. They had a 31-51 record. They finished 12th in the East.
Okay, so like I said, this year, if that 31 jumps up close to 40, then I know that some improvements was made. In that,
they started the season out 5-0. It was their best start to the season since the 96-97 season.
I remember that, but we've all seen teams have hot starts like that and then collapse completely. It don't mean nothing. When it counts. I mean, those
they had injuries. They had injuries to their key players though. Like Josh Giddey got hurt, Kobe White was hurt, Vucevic got hurt, and Jalen Smith got hurt. And then they traded. They had
them is out of there.
Yeah. Then they had they made 7 trades at the trade deadline in February, so they just kind of blew it up. But yeah, man. Hey, shout out to the Bulls. Again, young team, added a veteran player, so we just trying to see, some of these moves that these veterans are going to. Don't necessarily mean it's going to lead to winning, but we just trying to see, show them love for making some, career changing money for Norman Powell. Again, this is like his second or third extension. So he'll be a free agent in 2 years too. So if he's still producing at a high level, hey, he may be able to get on the bag after that one too. All right, and we'll move on to the next topic as well. So this was recently from Jaylen Ramsey. I'm kind of shifting right now to our next overall topics we have for tonight as well, guys. So Jaylen Ramsey, if you don't know who that is, he's now currently a cornerback / safety for the Pittsburgh Steelers. One of the best defensive backs to come out of Florida State University. Recently, he was meeting with Deion Sanders. If you don't know, Coach Prime, head coach of the Colorado Buffaloes. And he had
He
was sitting down talking to the team. So this snippet from that, his speech to the team was here. He's basically, this is what he said right here, to quote, "If this was an opportunity for me, it wouldn't have been no Florida State." So again, he's basically saying he was one of the top ranked DBs coming out of high school. If he had the opportunity to play for Coach Prime at Colorado, he would choose Colorado over going to Florida State. Now, there are a few issues that I have with this statement, and not from Jaylen Ramsey himself. He's his own man, own player. Every player should take their future into their own hands. I am pro athletes. Whether you go to a school and it doesn't work out for you, want to transfer, by all means, do what you gotta do. The only thing I have with this issue, is not Jaylen Ramsey per se, is that Coach Prime had Travis Hunter come to there, who was number one DB or number one athlete in the country at the time, number one player in the country, come to him with Jackson State, want to win the Heisman at Colorado, right? But who's not talked about is during that tenure, he also signed the number one cornerback in Cormani McLean, who went to Colorado, and he didn't pan out at Colorado. He wound up leaving Colorado due to like playing time, and it was quote unquote off the field issues, but there's nothing factual that I can report, so I'm not going to say that for sure. But he didn't have the best stint at Colorado, and then went to University of Florida and struggled with playing time there as well. He played, but not as much as you would think for number one cornerback. So the only issue I have with Jaylen Ramsey saying this is that outside of that 1 year at Colorado, he's going to have a better team at Jackson State because they have better talent compared to other HBCUs. But outside that 1 year at Colorado, outside the 1 year at Colorado. Oh yeah, I'm echoing. Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, you sound fine.
All right, I was echoing in my headset. Sorry. Outside of 1 year at Colorado, but they were over 500. Colorado is not a winning program, and the reason why the issue I have with it is that they signed the number one tackle, Jordan Seaton, about 2 or 3 years ago when Shador was there. Jordan Seaton wound up leaving this past transfer portal window. I don't remember what school he went to, but basically he's going to be a first round draft pick as a tackle once he comes into the NFL draft next year. The reason I'm saying this, y'all, is that I don't know if Colorado, I know, I do know for sure, Colorado is not a school that people go to for football anymore. And the issue I have with this statement is that these kids that they're going to go play for Coach Prime, it's especially we seen with Indiana. So this isn't out of the realm. I'm saying this, guys. I don't think this is a winning football team, and I'm saying this in the most serious way as possible. And the reason why I say is because you had Indiana, who never, ever. I'm a Big Ten football fan. I'm a Ohio State fan. Indiana was never good at football, y'all. It was a laughingstock of the Big Ten for as long as I can remember. When it comes to football, not basketball and baseball, I'm talking about strictly football. Indiana was never good at football. They brung in the coach Cignetti from James Madison University. Within 2 years, y'all, he had the best football record his first year there at Indiana, which was a 10-win season. The following year, he was able to go undefeated. So he beat Ohio State, Oregon, Miami. He beat all the top teams. and got Indiana undefeated to win the national championship. He had a Heisman winner at the quarterback position and went number 1 overall in the draft in Fernando Mendoza. So what I'm saying is this: the new landscape of college football is that you can get all the transfers you want, but at some point in time, it comes to X's and O's. I don't know if Deion Sanders is the best X's and O's coach. Definitely not in their conference, because they're not the laughing stock of their conference, but they're not that competitive in the Big 12. You feel what I'm saying? Like, he got lucky when he's able to bring Shador and Travis Hunter there, but since they left, and again, this is be his second year without his son there, so you gotta give him a chance. But they have a 5-star quarterback on their roster in Julian Lewis. So they already had talent at the quarterback position. He couldn't get on the field last year to start over a walk-on in a lower-ranked QB. Now, most times you do redshirt it, but what I'm saying is this: if you're a highly talented recruit, I don't know if Colorado is the best place to go for you to either develop, because this isn't the first recruit or the last recruit that Coach Prime has been able to land and not seen action on the field, is basically what I'm saying. I don't know if you want to go somewhere where the team is already bad and you're not playing. What is that going to do to your confidence as a player? Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Josh, Truth?
I agree. I do kind of feel like that with Deion as a coach. Like, I don't think he's a bad coach when it comes down to kind of the
Oh,
technical.
I'm not a big football guy, so
Put it in basketball. All right. Put in basketball, bro. You're gonna go play for John Calipari. You're DJ Wagner. You go to Kentucky, right? But you have other guards there who are also the best in the nation. And then you follow John Calipari to Arkansas, and now he has Darius Acuff there. You feel what I mean? So even though you're loyal to a coach, he's not putting you in the best position for you to make it to the NBA. You feel what I'm saying, Truth?
yes.
So even though Calipari is a great coach, does he have the best interest in you to making it to the next level, or is he just telling you to follow him because he wants to keep your talent on his team? That's I'm not saying, and then imagine that, but you losing a lot more than winning. That's basically what Deion Sanders has at Colorado. Players are going to him because of his name, but when they're getting there, outside of the years that he had his own son on the team, he's not getting people outside of like receivers and like, other skill positions. But the DBs per se, they're not the ones getting drafted outside of Travis Hunter. That's basically what I'm saying. If you're a DB going to play for Deion Sanders, I don't know if that would be the best thing for you to do, because he hasn't proven that he can get other DBs drafted outside of Travis Hunter. That's basically what I'm saying.
Okay.
But go ahead, Josh. What are you saying?
I definitely, like I said, I feel like I can speak on it from both aspects, and I get it. And I feel like with Deion, I don't think he's a terrible coach, but I feel like unless it's people that play like him or idolize him, just like a Jalen Ramsey, I feel like it really don't fit. Him at Colorado, I'm kind of like 50-50 on. I'm not saying he's not a great coach, but I feel like a big program like Colorado wasn't the move. But I mean, he's there. But I feel like Deion, like I said, I feel like the for the type of conference he in, I see him at one of those schools like that really like to throw heavy, and like I said, like kind of like mimic him as a player. I feel like Colorado's not that school. I feel like that's why things aren't translating like they wanted to. And I feel like people got so caught up over the hype of Deion got a job, Deion here, blah, 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 let's support all of that. And I hate to say it like this, but you can't always throw color to everything, because this is sports. Like, if you got it like that, you got it like that. There's terrific African-American coaches and there's terrific coaches of other ethnicities. A lot of people was carrying off the fact of, oh, he had this type of program as Deion Sanders. He outspoken, he flashy, blah, blah, blah. He got these people on the sidelines at the games, whoop, whoop, all this extra stuff. But then when it come down to it, the coaching really not all that. It really ain't. And then when you got people that are top leaving your program, that speaks volumes. Saying.
And to your point, it's not that he's a bad coach. I'm not saying he's a bad coach, y'all. It's the fact that you went to the worst team in Division I football. That's the problem. You feel what I mean? It's not the fact that he may not be the best X's and O's coach. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying is that he went from Jackson State, okay? Then he went to Colorado University. Like that's like somebody coaching. Let's say that's like the Chicago Bulls coach going from there to the Brooklyn Nets. Like it's a move that doesn't make sense when you look at the total landscape of things. You feel me? Like you're going from a team that won 31 games, but you're gonna leave there and go to a team that won 21 games. You feel me? That's what I'm saying. Colorado is the laughing stock of football. So the fact that he was able to have early success was because he had a lot of transfers there. There wasn't a lot of film at that level for those players at the Division I level. But now remove those players. You removing a top 5 pick in Travis Hunter and your son who was projected at first round pick, but he want to go in 5th round. But still, you remove NFL caliber players from that roster. And you got to rebuild it up again. That's why I say I think he made a mistake going to Colorado first. He should have went to Florida State when the job became available to him. But I think he was trying to do like not a big FU. It's more like, hold on. Oh, okay. No problem, Tynesia. Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say. I know a lot of y'all aren't probably in the college football. And the reason why I bring this up for the main part is this. A lot of players will follow Deion Sanders because that is their favorite player. You know what I'm saying? If you're a defensive back, he's the best defensive back of all time. There's no debate in that. You feel me? So if you have an opportunity to play for a coach like that, by all means, you would do it. But what I'm trying to basically hit on is that him being at Colorado is doing him a disservice. Where you see these coaches all over the place, like Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin was at Ole Miss, and Ole Miss was a play away from going to the college football championship. But Lane Kiffin left there to go take the head coaching job at LSU. And why? Simple. The kids that he was getting recruited at Ole Miss, he missed out on major recruits because they would rather go play at a LSU. You feel what I'm saying? So the university name, their prestige, all that comes into play when you're recruiting. So Deion Sanders, if he went to his alma mater, which is Florida State would be a top 25 team every year. Because at this point in time, if you're able to land number 1 recruits at Colorado, imagine what you're able to do at a university that's actually about winning. Like they have a winning pedigree there. Colorado had a winning pedigree in the 90s, y'all. So this is before us. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm talking about. You can't revitalize a whole program without a system in place. And the fact that you have a carousel of offensive coordinators where his son never had the same offensive coordinators. Oh, who's that? Oh, what's good, A-Rare? Hey, what's up, A-Rare? Appreciate you tuning into the stream. You feel me? Basically what I'm saying is this, y'all. It's hard for him to turn Colorado into a winning program because it's Colorado. If he needs to leave Colorado and actually go somewhere that's serious about winning. Like at Indiana, they were able to go. I'll put it like this, y'all. They were the worst team in the Big Ten football. Within 2 years of hiring a serious coach, they won a national championship with undefeated. They have a Heisman winner. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't happen. But with the new landscape of college football, I mentioned Colorado because it's evident that the NIL, the transfer portal, you can build up a program quicker. There's no reason why this team should only be still at 4 to 5 wins right now at Colorado. They should be a team that's about 7 to 8. Oh, what's good, Josh? Appreciate you tuning in, my guy. That's basically what I'm saying. Is long story short is that I want to speak on this because a lot of our athletes are going to go, even like a Penny Hardaway at Memphis. You know about that. I'm pretty sure the truth. If you're in the college basketball, you know about Penny Hardaway at Memphis. He had got a James Wiseman, a Mikey Williams. You feel what I'm saying? Well, I don't know if D.R. Johnson went there, but he was able to get highly talented recruits at Memphis. but never was able to pan out with a winning team in the NCAA tournament. You feel what I'm saying? If you catch what I mean. So long story short, y'all, just be careful of the colleges you choose as an athlete. Playing for your idol isn't always the best thing, especially when you get buried on a depth chart. If you can't start at Colorado as a 5-star freshman, that's what I'm saying. That's the issue. You feel me? Colorado is trash. If I'm a 5-star recruit, how am I not starting? How am I not playing over a walk-on quarterback? How am I not playing over a 2-star, 3-star quarterback who has no film? Like, what are we doing? You're gonna redshirt me. These kids will leave now. And that's the problem with Colorado, is that those star players, they looking at talent ahead of them. They don't think these kids are better than them. So you automatically start losing them. And if you got a losing program with that formula, then you're going to have kids transfer out. But shout out Di, because he's definitely trying to turn his program around. I don't think Colorado is a good place for him to be coaching at. I'm not saying he's a bad coach. I just think what's surrounding them there is Colorado's just not a winning program, y'all. Long story short, sorry about that rant, but if you're into college football, you know what I'm saying. This isn't the best program to be at if you're trying to win. If you're trying to go to the NFL, Colorado isn't it. And Deion knows that. I know he's trying to build that program up because he wants to have, you know what I'm saying, that's his legacy right there. But realistically, it just ain't it. So we'll go on to the next topic. I ain't going to hit y'all to death over the head with the college football talk right now. All right, so we'll move on to our next topic. We got this right here. So for all my music fans, I'm kind of going to get y'all thoughts on this too. First, let's give Drake his credit. He makes history as the first rapper to have 30 songs earn 1 billion plus streams. I don't know if this is either Apple Music or Spotify, whatever they consider streaming. He's the first rapper to make history doing that. So shout out Drake for, you know what I'm saying, he can even after his whole fiasco with Kendrick Lamar, even after he said everybody changed up on him, his songs, his albums are still breaking records. Hey, you can say he paid for his streams or not, but do you guys think this is a valid record to have if you're the first rapper to have this? Would you take credit for that, Truth? I know you're in the music. How do you feel about streaming, the sales aspect when it comes to that? But what do you think about Drake being the first rapper to have 30 songs earn 1 billion streams? Truth, you there? Not sure if Truth is still there, but I'll give y'all my take on this. Listen, shout out to Drake, because even somebody like me who's a Kendrick Lamar fan, you gotta give credit where credit is due, y'all. Too many times we try to tear down our greats in our era, but it's clear as day, this guy right here he's a legend in regards to breaking records when it comes to music. I do think he got away with a lot of what we say culture, being a culture virtue. I would say this, but if he has Caribbean roots, by all means, they fall into it. You feel me? But Drake has been a rapper, a pop singer, whatever you want to consider him. He's been a top artist since he's come into the game. And when you get a Drake feature, you know what I'm saying, you are able to surpass most of your records and stuff. Yeah. For sure, Josh. Yeah. So Drake is just one of those people who really, you know what I'm saying, went to the next level. And he's took the game to another level too. I would just say this: for him to have this record himself, it just shows his dominance and the reign that he's had over time. So again, I just want to give him credit on that. I kind of want to have my music people talk on it. I know y'all in the music. I kind of wanted to get y'all thoughts on streaming. If y'all thought it, you know, not Drake per se, but what did you guys think about, you know, the paywall behind streaming? Do you think most of these artists who are breaking records now, do you think they're being pushed by the machine? I think it's payola. That's the paywall that people use. You feel me? So yeah, that's really it in regards to this. Because then also Chris Brown also became the top RIAA certified R&B singer. You feel me? As far as sales and streams in regards to that, he surpassed Michael Jackson recently in that regard. So I want to kind of speak on that too. Is it just the modern day people Is it just the modern day with all the streaming and everybody can have the replay value going on? You can play a song as many times as you want, or are these artists really breaking records? And you know, what I mean, shout out to their fan base and stuff like that. Yeah, so let me know what you guys think about that. Yeah, so I had to get something to drink. Your boy is parched. Hold on. Yeah. Let's see. It's a shooting is a gift and a curse. They paywall is horrible. It's a lot of money, but only those people, be the likes of Drake's, Kendrick Lamar's, etc. Yeah, that's what I mean. So it's like, is it just the major artists who benefit from streaming, or is it, you know, the independent artists like your Russ? Shoot, that's probably a lot of independent artists I'm not getting off the top of my head right now. But like your J. Cole, I don't know, J. Cole's independent. Hold on. When Young Dolph was alive, I'm pretty sure Sheehan was big for him. I'm not sure if Key Glock is an independent artist. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if people are independent artists, fully independent, or if they just have like that independent name, but they still signed to a labels and in the background or the distribution instead of labels. See, I don't know all the ins and outs in that regards when it comes to the music and everybody's catalog. But I do know rappers like a Drake, a Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole. The list goes on. They benefit from having the machine behind them and also being talented rappers as well. Yeah, Truth, can you hear me? All right, so I'm not sure if Truth is there. I know we lost Josh on the stream too, so hey, we may have to, you know what I mean, rock this out solo for the rest of the night, y'all. Yeah, so and exactly. So the touring, them selling merch. I think Russ was doing something where he was doing like it wasn't a backyard, like a backyard live show, but he was doing like pop-up concerts or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but he had a whole like formula to his people. Yeah, a lot of people don't have a lot of deep catalogs. See, like Drake's music goes back to when he came out till now. You could play an album from when he first came out to an album that dropped now and still have hits on it. Same with J. Cole. Like I listen to Friday Night Lights, you know what I mean, here and there. And I also listen to his most recent album that he dropped as well. Same with Kendrick. Kendrick got crazy, you know what I'm saying, music from his last album to when he first came out too. Even the likes of like a Jay-Z, a Nas, like all their catalogs are run deep. And then also, I want to ask you guys this: who do you think the best rap group of all time is? I know like the Migos is up there, but you got like the Wu-Tang Clan, you got Mobb Deep. The list goes on with the rap groups too. But who do you think the best rap group is of all time too? Let's see if you bring Truth on if you can hear us now. Let me see real quick.
I can hear you.
You can hear me now?
Yeah.
All right, bet. So what do you think about this? If you can hear me about everything I said, what do you think about the artists who are now breaking our Legends records? Even with Drake being the first rapper to have 30 songs earning 1 billion plus streams. About Chris Brown breaking Michael Jackson's record for the most RIAA streams and sales. I think he now has like 165 million all time. Like, what do you think about that?
I think it's exciting. Um, for me, I listen to majority old school music, so it's kind of 50-50, to be honest, sometimes, because I do look up to like Michael Jackson and all the other guys who were before him, and just seeing like Drake, like I'm a huge Drake fan, so
Uh-huh.
seeing Drake, breaking these records is crazy. It's kind of crazy.
And do you think it's he said, oh yeah, I asked too. Who would you put down as your best rap group of all time, Truth?
Rest rap group.
Yeah, if you had to choose.
Uh,
We had Josh in the chat. Josh said he's torn between NWA and Outkast. I mentioned the Migos, Wu-Tang Clan,
yeah.
like a Mobb Deep. I mean, there's a lot. So you got the Roots. There's a lot of people you can think of, but like I guess you could do like a top 3 if you want. Who's your like a
The
top 3 rap group of all
refugees.
time?
I like NWA.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll go Mod Deep, and then I go Outkast. Outkast was huge. They got a lot of hit songs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Outkast with Big Boy and Andre 3000.
Yes.
Yeah, they definitely up there. Yeah, they definitely up there for sure. I would say modern day Migos because to me they had the longest tenure out of all the groups, and they were like commercial success, underground success. May not have the best lyrics for everybody, but like if you like Offset, you like Takeoff, like I do. To me, they were great in their own right. And then you got Quavo. To me, at one point in time, he couldn't miss on the Future when it came to hooks. You feel me? Like
Yeah.
he was at one point in time, he was the best person to get on the Future for a hook. You feel me? So I feel like the Migos for sure, modern day wise, uh, they were they call themselves the modern day Beatles, I believe, at one point. I'm not going that far, but they were definitely one of the better rap groups that we had in the modern day. And you got underrated groups too, like a Yin Yang Twins. I mean, they weren't like, I'm not saying rap group. I'm saying like that had success still, guys. Not you feel me? Best lyricists. I'm just saying they had success as a group and things like that. So you can obviously pick out different male groups. I don't know about the women's groups, so don't get me lying on here. I'm not gonna see the City Girls, so we ain't gonna go there. You feel me? But yeah, but no, I want to just touch base on there because I also want to figure out, like, sorry, not figure out, but like, what do you guys think about the value of a stream? Do you think streaming has ruined music, or has it helped promote music to reach new levels?
I think it promote music.
Okay.
I think if you got your music out there, you get your music out there. I think it helps promote music. I don't see no knock on it. When it comes to streaming music and they make like a penny off of it.
Mm.
Um, I do think they should make a little bit more as an artist.
Yeah, like 10 cent or something, right?
Yeah, they
Mm-hmm.
make like 10 cents off a song, so off of each stream.
Yeah, because that's what I'm trying to figure out. Is that do they know the real value of a stream? Because these labels make if Drake what he sold his catalog for, I don't know, it was like a half, let's say a half a billion or close to like half a billion, right? To Universal. If they willing to pay that much to keep his catalog under their music rights, or to have music rights to his catalog, like how much are they making off of that? You feel me?
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, Josh. Is like I see exactly what y'all saying. Like it does promote the music out there to audience around the world, and you could reach a new fan base, or it makes it easier for your fans to get your like to listen to your song, listen to your albums for sure. But the artists aren't getting a fair end of that deal. Now, and we know why a lot of people, they push the independent route, but don't they still have to pay for like distribution and all that stuff too of their music being pushed out? If I'm not mistaken, right? It's something along those lines. I know I'm not tripping because I've definitely seen other independent artists speak on that. That they're independent, but they have to spend a lot of their money out of their pocket to get the same or even close to the same promotion as a Drake would get if he's to just announce an album randomly. You feel me? Yeah, I don't know. I just think that's interesting on how we are where we're at now. So I think a lot of our older artists who were getting all their numbers off of strictly sales at a store. What was that? So that's less than. Oh, Josh, hold on. Is that 8 cent? Is that 8 cent? Is that less? No, hold on. 0.008. Point one would be a 10 cent. 0.008. That's less than 1 cent a stream on Apple Music. Okay, so I get it there. All right, got you. So that's a little bit less than 1 cent. We can round up. We can round up. You feel me? But yeah, I just want to speak on that real quick, guys. I know you guys are into music and stuff like that, so I just want to get your thoughts on how you guys feel about streaming music and these rappers and artists and pop, not just rappers, but like I said, Chris Brown broke Michael Jackson's record for the most RIAA certified streams plus sales units of all time. I could bring up his exact number that he hit. Let me see real quick. Because Chris Brown is Chris Brown is one of those artists who I don't, even though he got blackballed a lot from everything that happened with him. Okay, so as of this is in 2025, he surpassed Michael Jackson's long-held U.S. sales record for black male artists. Chris Brown has amassed 163 million total RIAA certified sales in the United States, edging out Michael Jackson's lifetime total of 158.5 million. And then if you go off of his singles, so this is just digital sale records, digital singles record. He holds the record for that. 133.5 million RIAA certified digital single units, the most of any male R&B in U.S. history. He also holds the most gold and multi-platinum single plaques in each category of any male artist, regardless of genre. Damn. Damn, I didn't realize Chris Brown was killing it like that, bro. Dang, bro. Yeah, Chris Brown. Hey, I like I said, he was blackballed for a point in time too. But Chris Brown really been out here handling business. Hey man, shout out. I don't know. They calling him the new king of R&B. That's what I say. I don't know how y'all feel about this. That's why I need you on here, Josh and Truth. Like, how y'all feel about that? If Chris Brown now has the title of king of R&B, the king of pop, y'all like that or nah? Is he over Michael Jackson? Dang. Yeah, I didn't think we'd be at a point in time where someone would pass Michael's numbers, but again, with the help of streaming and the help of everything else, I do think this is now where we're at in regards to that, y'all. So yeah, I just want to speak on it a little bit on the music end of things. Kind of give you guys a little update on that and where we're now seeing records being broken. The last single touch on the night before we close out the stream. Want to speak on this too. It was actually kind of crazy when I seen this earlier. So there was a couple. They climbed the Empire State Building. So let me get their exact names and stuff. But yeah, they were arrested after climbing the Empire State Building, bro. This is like, I don't think they should have been arrested because they were doing it for a pro-peace movement. You feel me? So let's see. Let's get their names real quick, and then we'll also pull up their. Oh no, this is ABC. So I'm not gonna pull up their news clippings, but I'll show you guys this picture real quick, just so you can see it. Hold on 1 second. Hold on, here we go. And let me zoom in a little bit for y'all so y'all can see this. So, you feel me? This was Angela, Nicolau, and Ivan Birkis. They climbed to the top of the Empire State Building. Yeah, you see they have this flag over here as well. Let's see, do they have what the flag says on here? Let me see real quick. Okay, so their banner said, "When the power of love beats the love of power, the world knows peace." So again, this wasn't, at first I thought they were, I don't see they were terrorists. I didn't know who they were on top of the building. People was calling them Catwoman and Batman, and that was a funny joke on social media later too. But just seeing this right here, they're devils as well. They were on a Netflix show too, but they said Netflix had nothing to do with this stunt that was pulled here. I just think this is kind of interesting though, people. It's actually, to me, I think it's kind of dope because he actually proposed to her up there. So this dude, he done set the bar beyond any level. You feel me? Like any dude who's doing a proposal, hey, are you going to get arrested to propose to your fiance? Dang, that's why I wish we had the fellas on. Cause that's the question I would ask for y'all. What's y'all imagination on proposing to y'all future wife, bro? Like mine's, hey, it was just gonna be I would say a baby shower, but like at a dinner, you feel me? Something like that. But this dude climbed up the Empire State Building and proposed to her. We gotta step our game up, fellas. That's the message I got from this. We thinking too small. We thinking too inside the box. We gotta do something like this. I think they facing up to like 10 years in prison if they were convicted. I don't think they'll go to jail for anything like this, but I think they'll get a slap on the wrist. They just don't do nothing like this again. But again, what heights are you willing to go to? No pun intended. To ask your woman to be your wife, bruh, or to marry you. Like, what are you willing to give? What are you willing to do to propose to your woman? I just think, again, to me, this is dope. You feel me? I just really think that's really cool. Two people who are in love, doing what they love to do. They're daredevils as well. So like that thrill you get from doing something with your partner is like unmatched. You feel me? So I just think that's a really dope thing to experience. That's a really dope thing to see, that you have a couple willing to go to these heights just to do a proposal to her, bro. Like, come on, man, what are you talking about? And then he had to get help from like the firefighters or like the police department, whatever the case was, to get down from there. I don't know how they got up there in the first place, though. That's what I want to know. I want to know if they had like an employee's badge to enter into the building or something, or like to get to this level of the building. And then how'd they get access to the roof? Like, this ain't a small building. I believe the Empire State Building, if it's not the tallest building in New York, is one of the tallest buildings of New York. I'm pretty sure about. So, again, this is dope. Shout out to this couple again, Angela Nicolau and Ivan Berkis, depending on how he pronounces his last name. I have no idea, but I hope Ivan. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ivan's the dude. Let's hope. But again, they are a couple from this Netflix show. What was the Netflix show name? Hold on. Let's see if they have it in here or not. I'm not sure. 1 second, y'all. So the building is 1,454 feet above ground. Damn. I'm trying to see if they have a show they were on. Hold on. Oh, this is what he looked like? What she look like? Never mind, chat. I take it back, bro. I thought she was a baddie. I ain't gonna hold y'all. What she look like? Hold on. This ain't a good picture, bro. Hold on. My bad, chat. I gotta see if this girl look like. And it's not. I'm not judging her, but if I'm hold on, bro. If I'm doing all this for my wife, my fiance, I gotta see what she look like first. Hold on, bro. That might have been a bad picture. She really is a daredevil. You gotta be fearless as hell to take these type of. Yo, they really do this stuff, bro. You gotta be fearless to really do these type of. Nah, chat. I don't know. Well, okay. To their point, they go all over the world and they do daredevil stuff like this. So this isn't just a one-off thing for them. They climb up to the top of buildings all over the world and take pictures. So, oh, she's Russian. Oh no. Yeah, I don't know. I can't find a regular picture on her though. Hold on. I gotta find a regular picture on her. I want to see what she looks like outside of these model pictures. I guess that's all you're gonna find on her are these model pictures. I don't know, y'all. I don't know if I'm gonna be doing all this for my John, bro. Hold on, let's see what she looks like. Let me show y'all real quick, chat. Let me see how y'all feel about this. Let's see what y'all think about this, bro. Oh, my bad. I zoomed a little too far in. You going to jail for this? Now, I'm not judging her per se, her beauty. Again, all means let them be lovebirds and everything like that. Congrats to them on their engagement. But if me personally, that's why I say you can't judge off looks, because realistically, you're not going to find a woman who's willing to climb buildings with you and stuff like that. Like, finding someone that you love doing that type of stuff is by all means that. But man, but am I going to risk 10 years in jail for her? Now, me personally, chat, I'm not doing that. You feel me? I'm going to keep it a beam with y'all. She got to look like Thames or something like that. You feel me? It got to be somebody like that. Like, yeah, I climbed to the Empire State Building for her. But for Miss Angela right here, I don't know if I'm doing all that, bro. But now, all jokes aside, this ain't to criticize her looks or anything like that. That's really a dope thing right there to see two people who love what they do as far as being daredevils, going to extreme measures to. That's a one of a lifetime type of opportunity to climb all the way to the top of the building. Now, the spokesperson for the Empire State Building say people do go up to the top and propose there, like on their walk area. But these two went the next step. Again, they use a Jimi Hendrix, uh, line or phrase, whatever you want to call it, a line from his song, and that's what they use as far as the flag goes to promote peace. You feel me? Again, I thought they were terrorists. I thought they were trying to like say it's gonna say something else on there, but like stop the war or something. You feel me? But they're basically just trying to promote peace and love. Again, fellas, if this is your woman, are you doing that? Are you climbing to the top of the building, the Empire State Building, to propose to her? Or you just gonna keep it simple, like, hey, let's go like to Roof Chris or something. You feel me? I don't know. We can go to a steakhouse. I don't know. If she's vegan, then let's go to a vegan house. I don't know what the hell you want to do, but climbing the building, facing 10 years in jail for her? Nah, again, my girl, she got to look like Thames or something for me to do that, to go to that extreme route. But again, all jokes aside, man, shout out to them for doing that, y'all. So again, look, I just want to share that real quick with y'all, man. We're going to end it here for our live here. Usually we go for about 2 hours, but what time is it now? It's 11:30, bro. So I'm going to get started on my TikTok stream after this. So I'll go live on TikTok. If you want to join me there, it's Mal_Stacks26. I'm going to go live for there for a little bit. To my Twitch and my Kick followers, if I get on 2K tonight, then yeah, we'll be live on 2K. I got to start editing some clips out from yesterday's stream and tonight's stream as well, and also some of our gaming highlights too. So I got to spend a little time doing some editing, guys. That's the reason why I got to end the stream a little bit earlier tonight. You know, we usually try to go for 2 hours, but you know, usually we got guests on and stuff like that. I was planning on more of a dialogue with you guys tonight. So you know, we didn't get all that. It's completely fine. Hey, look, I know you guys are here tuning in for everything that we bring to the show. You feel me? So it's all good with that aspect. But again, we'll end it here because I got to spend some time with editing and get some clips out for our social media. Again, when it's a one-man crew, you got to kind of do it all. You feel me? So some nights I'll stream a lot longer. Other nights, we at least try to hit the 1.5 hour mark, 2 hour mark to give you guys still some good streaming. Again, I tell you, we'll be live daily. So, you know, the content is out there. We'll cover it. But we just got to prepare some things too. If we have, you know, that's more so for me, not for you guys. So I'll be better prepared tomorrow too in that regards, where I'll have other things to follow up our initial conversation. If our guests are to leave a little bit earlier, then I'll have other things in store for you guys too. So don't worry about that. Again, that's on me. And I'll be sure to have more topics for you guys and stuff like that. And then also for our audience, if you ever want to join, leave in the chat if you're looking to ever join the stream as well. For me, so I could talk, guys, just by myself for hours. That's not a problem. I like to engage with people, you know, invite people on and things like that. But again, that's more so for me, y'all. So don't worry. We'll get everything down with a solo broadcast too for y'all. So people just tune in for the stream and things of that nature. But if you guys have anything you want us to talk about before we disconnect on the stream, just let me know. Put it in the chat. I'll bring it up. If not, then we'll end it here. And then I'll go ahead and work on what I was planning to do tonight. Again, if you go on TikTok too, because right now I can't do TikTok altogether with the live streaming just yet. I have to work on getting the TikTok page up to 1,000 followers. So that's why I gotta go live separately on TikTok so I can be a little more engaged there tonight. Give them about an hour, 1.5 hours of streaming there, where I can also focus on getting our followers up. So I'm gonna go live tonight from my desktop on TikTok. That way I can actually put my follower goal on there, add other things on there. That's the reason we're ending the live stream early tonight here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. So nothing from your guys' perspective. Definitely appreciate everybody tuning into the chat today. Thanks for all for the likes. And if you're new to the stream, go ahead and hit a follow as well. You can either comment if you want to comment. If not, it's not no big deal. Listen, I'm not trying to force you guys to do anything. Again, we do go live daily. We try to go live at 9:30. But I get off work at 8 o'clock. So it's a little quick turnaround, getting home, setting everything up, and then getting started by 9:30. So 10 o'clock would be the latest most nights. But for the most part, we're 9:30, 10 o'clock every night. Guys, we are live on Twitch, YouTube, Kick, and Facebook. When we do gaming, it'll just be on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. But yeah, that's another story for you guys too. So hey, listen, my name is Miles Stacks. I'm going to tune out here. Hope you guys have a great night. Again, if you want to come to our TikTok, Mal_stacks26, we'll do some collaborations, some co-host things with people on TikTok, just to, grow our band on there too. But again, I appreciate everybody tuning into the stream tonight, man. Hope y'all enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll catch y'all tomorrow with some more news. And then also, we'll also have we're going to have other people on tomorrow. So I don't know if we'll necessarily be doing NBA topics per se, but we'll probably speak on some other stuff too that's trending around, some community stuff too. And then also we got Power dropping at midnight. Speaking on that, yeah, we'll have a lot more planned for you guys tomorrow night too. So I don't want to fit it in all into one night because I'm not trying to combine everything all in one night where we're making guys so you gotta be on here for 4 or 5 hours or anything like that. So but last thing before we do get off, actually, I do want to speak about this. If you guys aren't aware, so this was actually released today. You know what? We'll stay live here, y'all, because I can go live on TikTok actually from my phone. I want to speak with you guys a couple of things, and this isn't a shot at anybody who's in the politics or anything like that. Let's see. This is just so you can be aware how we're in a recession for most Americans, for most citizens in America. And this isn't a shot at anybody who's left or right. I don't really care what you believe in your politics. This isn't this type of conversation. I just want to show you guys this so you understand how this is the reason why we need to really lock in and really lock in on our finances. I'm just going to show you guys this clip. I'm not going to go through the whole article or anything like that. And again, this isn't to come at anybody who voted for Trump. I don't really care who you vote for who you want, and whoever you decide to vote for, that's on you. Okay, I just want to show you guys this aspect and then have a conversation with you on how we need to do better on our end. You feel me? And we need to find out what people are investing in to get our money like this. You feel me? So this is how Trump. So basically, filings came out that Trump has made an estimated $2.2 billion since returning to office. Now, if anybody who's into politics or into the news, it was reported that Trump was giving up his salary, I believe for a president, like $500,000 a year or something like that, right? So it was reported that he was giving that up when he was in office and wasn't taking salary. Long story short, people, again, this isn't necessarily a aim at Trump or anybody who's a Republican or anybody who's Democrat. This ain't this type of conversation, right? I stay away from those because I'm not a political person. This is just showing you how if we're struggling as regular Americans, whether you black, white, Asian, Hispanic, doesn't matter. If you're a legal immigrant or not, you feel me? If we're struggling in this economy, but yet you have people, not just Trump, because this is just one example of it, but when you have people still making billions of dollars, like Elon Musk became the first trillionaire in history. You feel what I mean? So it's not just Trump that's making money while we're all struggling. You got all of our billionaires are making even more money. The millionaires, if they're doing right, they're making more money. Even people who are considered thousandaires, however you want to word it, they're making more money. We got to learn to get our money in investments. Let me take all Trump off screen. We got to learn to get our money in investments that are going to bring in either residual income, passive income for us, or dividends down the end where we can actually reap the rewards that we benefit. So our ROI, or return on investment, if you don't know what that term is, we need to understand how to get more money or get better rates on our return on investment for sure. But that right there alone was just showing you that, hey, don't let politics stop you from making money. Okay. Don't let who's in office stop you from making money. That's what that message is about. Again, it's not about Trump. It's not about Kamala Harris or whoever's in office. Ain't nothing about that. It ain't about Joe Biden. It ain't no Democrat push. It ain't no left extremists or right wing extremists. This ain't this type of stream, guys. I show you financial stuff just to show you that it's possible when everybody else around you is struggling, or not just your community, but I'm talking about in the world, in the country. You feel me? It's inflation hitting everybody hard, but yet there's still people out here making millions and billions of dollars. We have to find a way to infiltrate that system. You feel me? That's our goal. Either invest our money the right way, find out what they investing in. Like, we got to find that with that whistleblower who can give us access to these things. That's what I'm talking about. So whether you starting out on Wall Street in a stock, or Wall Street is a stock market. You know what I mean? If you start on Wall Street, the stock market, trading options, the black market. Look, however you able to make a legal way of making money, we have to learn how to amplify that and multiply that stream of income or whatever we're doing to really reach these new heights, man. Because when I'm looking at stuff like that, I don't sit back and say, dang, the president making two. I don't look at it like that. I say, dang, the president making $2 billion. What is he doing that I'm not doing? You feel what I'm saying? Like, I don't look at it as, oh, he's making more money than me. I don't really care who's making more money than me. I'm looking at, if they are able to make billions, then it could be able for us to at least make a couple thousand. You feel what I'm saying? To get to that billion. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. How can we maximize our earnings as regular Americans and reach that a higher level? It's not always about being a millionaire or whatever the case may be, but if you can make an extra, all right, for instance, if I'm making 60,000 at my job right now, if I can make an extra 5 to 15,000 off of investments or cryptocurrency or whatever the case may be, and it's legal money that I can either put aside in an IRA or a high yield savings, you feel what I'm saying? Like somewhere where it could be a compound interest on my money. That's what I'm trying to look at. You feel me? So these are the type of conversations we got to have because they're very important. I mean, sports are important, but sports is a business. You need to understand how the money in sports is working. College is important, but college is a business. How's the money in college moving? You feel what I mean? So if you stream or you don't stream, if you're somebody just a viewer, how is the money being made in streaming? And not just Trump. Like I said, this isn't a Trump that he made $2 billion. Now let's look at another example. Real quick. I'm not sure if you guys seen the recent clip of Adrian Broner. But he just came out and said, let's see real quick. Hold on. No, not this one. All right. So we can show you guys this because it's not nothing too crazy. See, I can show you guys this stuff because it's not sports related. So, and I'm sharing this with you guys now. Just know, again, this is all for all of us to understand that we can all do more. That's all I mean, guys. So look, just look at this real quick. And again, we'll stop some of it because it may be copyright or not, but we'll just do this. Look.
Stop right now. Don't be mad. They thought I was dead, bro. They thought I was dead, bro. Man, you embrace that shit. Some of the water. Some of the water, God.
Hey!
We're back, Rich. We're back, Rich. I got you. Hold on, I got you. This is 6 foot. I got you. I got you. I got you. We're back, Rich. I ain't seen a number like that in years. Come on, I got you. All right, I got to stay right here, cuz. Yeah. All my baby mamas, they get a check tomorrow. Everything back to normal. Okay. Appreciate you, bro. Of course, nigga. Okay. I really appreciate y'all. Because without y'all, I can't take care of my kids. I got 11. What? I was 10. Yeah, I added you.
You feel what I'm saying, y'all? So again, look, this ain't no hey, shout out to AB, bro, because even in his situation, I mean, you can say he hit rock bottom, however you want to go from a world champion to wherever he at now. But even somebody like that, who life could have been in shambles prior to going live on Kick. You know, shout out Dina Great for also getting him back in the main spotlight. But long story short is that, as you can see, is that he was able to make $1 million. You know what I'm saying? Just off of being himself. Yeah, obviously they be doing things on stream, things of that nature. Okay, cool. But the long story short is that he found his purpose and he just kept going. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's going live every day or whatever the case was, he was able to bounce back. That's what it's all about, bouncing back. You know what I'm saying? So even from our president, if he was bankrupt, now he making $2 billion in investments. Adrian Broner, he wasn't bankrupt, but he was quote unquote broke by our standards, I guess. Now he made $1 million off of just doing what he had to do there. It's just all about how you look at life. You feel me? You're gonna be at your vulnerable moments. You're gonna be at tough times, but hey, I'm just trying to show y'all examples of people out here. We've even during other hard times that we all facing through these financial struggles with this economy and stuff. There's still examples out here of people being able to really surpass, you know what I'm saying, their limits. That's all I mean, y'all. So it's dope to see that somebody even like an Adrian Broner, who at one point in time everybody was writing him off, but now look at him, bro. He making good money, doing what he wants to do. He can take care of his kids. I think he said he was going to cut his kids' moms like $17,000 a piece. That's hearsay, y'all. That's the numbers we seen on Twitter. But you gotta take Twitter sometimes with a grain of salt. But basically, what I'm showing y'all is that it's possible, you know what I'm saying, to really reach these heights, to really reach these levels, to really surpass what we think we're gonna be stuck at sometimes. We just gotta keep pursuing. For sure. That was dope. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I was actually happy when I seen that earlier. I was like, dang, bro, like, you feel me? Dang. There's a lot of stuff out there that we just don't be knowing, man. We thinking people just getting broken off because man. Some people really, like, you know what I'm saying? They really be doing their thing. And we just don't be knowing because you don't know what you don't know. I hope you guys learned something right there, though. It's just, you gotta keep going. Let's see real quick. I also had something real quick from Mojo Brooks. He was on Carmelo Anthony's 7 p.m. in Brooklyn show. And he was speaking on, let's see, hold on. He was speaking on not giving up on yourself and running your own race. I thought that was a good message too. So I'm gonna pull that clip up. I may have to pull up the actual video on their page though. 1 second. So with this stuff, I gotta make sure this is which one was it? Oh, here we go. It was him speaking on Mike Epps. So I'll just play a little bit of clip of this for you guys, just so you can understand. Again, this is all positive stuff, man. I was watching it earlier on my phone. I was like, it's actually, he's actually speaking some real stuff. Hold on. Let me make sure you guys can see it over here. That's not that one. Hold on. Let me take this away. 1 second. And we're going to go to about another 15 minutes. We got to hit that 2 hour. I promised myself, regardless if it's just me or not, I got to hit 2 hours every night streaming. That's a goal of mine. That's the minimum goal. So I have to do 2 hours of streaming just for myself, just to be consistent with that. You know what I'm saying? So that's all it is. So don't mind me if I'm just out here rambling. And I'll get to the people here up here too. This is our, we put up a clip of me and Josh yesterday. I put it up on Instagram and all my other socials. So even on my Piece of Knowledge page now, that's where all of our sports, all of our entertainment, this is why we're live on a Piece of Knowledge page instead of the Miles Stacks. Miles Stacks YouTube page will be strictly for like our diabetic content, but our Piece of Knowledge page where we'll do all of our live streams on YouTube as well for entertainment, music, sports, all that stuff will be on our Piece of Knowledge podcast page. So we got that revamped. It made more sense doing that. I think we gained 5 followers since 5 subscribers on YouTube since then. So if you are new to the stream, go ahead and hit subscribe to our YouTube channel, Piece of Knowledge Podcast. You feel me? I made that logo off ChatGPT. So look, we'll get an official logo soon. Don't worry, y'all. This is just kind of like on the making. But I'm gonna play a couple of clips from here just to show you guys. He giving Mike Epps his props, but he's gonna have some real good messaging in here. And then there's also a clip from the pivot that I want to show y'all from, if you know Jason Wilson, I believe his name is Jason Wilson. He's a guy with the beard. He does like the karate stuff. He's a motivational speaker. He speaks a lot for a lot of personal development, having a close relationship with God and all that stuff too for a lot of men. For women too, he has good content too. But he speaks on, I'm gonna show this clip after this. He speaks on how him and Ryan Clark were having a misunderstanding, but Jason Wilson took accountability for it. When I didn't really think it wasn't really him being in the wrong, but it was, as a man, he was kind of establishing taking accountability as that first step to having a conversation where it won't be a misunderstanding. You feel what I'm saying? But let me just show you what Mojo Brooks is speaking on with Carmelo. And this is this came out a month ago, this clip, but it came across my timeline today. So hey, that's why I had peeped it out. But listen real quick.
Mike has talked very, very highly of you and everything that he said. How would you describe that relationship with you and Mike?
Oh man, it's dope, man. Like Mike is like he first of all, he the ultimate OG in comedy because the things that
and he's speaking on Mike Epps. For people who don't know who Mike Epps is, hey, one of them, a legend in comedy. His movies are hilarious. His stand-ups are hilarious. Check out his most recent Netflix stand-up comedy too. And I'm not getting paid for that, y'all. I'm just letting you know, Mike Epps is just one of the better comedians overall. If you haven't ever seen his interview with Shannon Sharp, that's also a good interview to watch too. So yeah, tune into Mike Epps, what he be speaking on and his growth as a person as well.
He's willing to do a lot of OGs aren't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, Mike, we go out on this tour, you know, he putting us, you know, bringing us along with him while he's in these arenas. You know, he giving us game backstage.
And if anybody who is a comedian, or whether it doesn't matter if you're a comedian, a content creator, you're an athlete, you're someone that work in corporate, you work as a either a chef in the kitchen, wherever you work at, whatever industry you're in. You could be a bartender, you could be a hairstylist. It don't matter, but this message applies to all. Listen to what he just said. How the OG is giving them game on how to better themselves and giving them an opportunity to succeed. But listen to what he's saying, because this is how we better our community. And I say our community, I'm talking about everybody, black, white, don't matter. But let's listen to that. Listen to what he's about to say here, because it's going to show you, like, okay, this is how, if I'm in a position of success, or rephrase that, a position of leadership, this is how I should be rewarding the next generation up. And if I'm the next generation that's looking up to the older generation, this is how my OGs should be passing information down to me, or giving me an opportunity to be better than them, or get an opportunity to shine. You know what I'm saying? But listen to this.
And then it's like, it's not like a me thing with him. It's like us. Like, we can do this. Like, we should do this. Like, it's like that. So it's very inclusive. And you feel a part of something. And then, you know, this is my 3rd year doing it with him. So now.
And you heard that. The most important thing was, instead of Mike Epps singling out the individual that is Mojo Brooks or whoever other comedians that are with them, he is including them in that conversation with the we, with the us. Like, that's important. How you say certain things to people is going to get your message across to them. That's basically what I'm saying, y'all. So that's why it's important to hear this, because we're not going to see the whole 7 minutes of the clip, but the first like 3 minutes, he doesn't get like real deep, but it's a good enough message where you can apply this to your daily life. So I'll let him finish up on that.
As like family, you know what I'm saying? Like, we in the airport, we sitting with each other on the plane.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he talking to me about stuff from when he was coming to game, telling me things that he's seeing me that, you know, man, I had that when I was younger. So, you know, the relationship is dope. Mike as a person, you know, is dope. You know, for instance, we was in Memphis.
And you see that right there, y'all. And that's why I kind of wanted to show you this, because as he's mentioning these things, you have to, again, apply it to your life. Do you have an OG or older person who is willing to give you free game, that is willing to put you in position of success? Do you have a mentor who is doing that? And if the answer is no, then you need to surround yourself with some people who are able to do that. And listen, that could be you. You could be the Mike Epps in this situation, and then you're either your sibling or your little cousin or your friend, whatever the case may be. You could have someone that's a Mojo Brooks, you feel me, who is willing to sit there and actually be a sponge to the information you're willing to pass along to them. So you can either take it from his perspective or from Mike Epps' perspective, you feel me? But either way, that is how we grow. You feel me? That is what we need to be listening to. That is how we are able to propel our next generation to be successful in life. That is how you are able to propel yourself to be successful in life. Is that you have to have someone who is willing to show you the ropes, so you're not making the same errors, the same mistakes that they made. If you can skip that phase of life of making the same mistakes they did, that's how you're able to reach that next level. For me, that's where it's each one teach one. That's where we should be at mentally. Again, this is what we need to have a mentality as a society to help people reach their goals, to help people reach higher heights than we've reached. You feel me?
And I was about to miss the show. You know what I'm saying? Flight delayed and all that. We fly out there, finally make it. And Mike like, yo, Mojo, you can close.
Wow.
There ain't nobody letting, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a fact.
Most dudes would have missed their money that night.
Yeah.
Listen to that. Giving him an opportunity to close at a comedy show was huge, because you're the closing act. All that means everybody's gonna be sitting down, everybody's gonna be, their full attention is on you. If you've ever been to a comedy show, you know, the first one, he's more like the icebreaker, like, you know what I'm saying? It could be a newer comedian, or sometimes it could be a veteran comedian, but they wanted to get the crowd involved. So they may start with a story or start with a punchline, you feel me, something like that. You may have about 2 or 3 more sets in between there before the closing act comes out, depending on the comedy show and how many people are there, how long the comedy show is. It could all change at the venue, all change the guest you're seeing. But in this instance, Mike Epps is giving him an opportunity to still close out a show. And like he said, he almost missed his flight. He was almost missed the whole show, but he still got an opportunity to close out. So I'll let him finish up.
You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
And he like, nah, bro, go up there and do it. And when I walked out on the stage, bro, the crowd went crazy. And I put my hand out to shake Mike's hand. He like, no, Mike grabbed me and hugged me. And he was like, I'm proud of you.
That's
and he walked off. And I got a video, and I'm gonna post a video. When he walked off, he looked, because when he heard the crowd, he looked back at me. And you could just see him, he just smiling. He almost like you could see him about to come and walk back, and then he just like, man, let me let him do his thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just,
that's dope. And again, this is a comedian from a comedian standpoint. But anybody who's willing to put you in position to let you get your flowers, let you get the acknowledgement you deserve from the crowd, you know what I'm saying? Because he's not getting past the opportunity because you know what I'm saying, he's friends with Mike Epps. He's getting an opportunity because he worked on his craft. He has that stage presence that obviously a veteran in the game like a Mike Epps is looking for. You feel me? So it's not the fact that, he has social media community. No, it's not. It's more than that. It's the fact that he's able to persevere through all the adversity he went through his life, whatever it was. You feel me? Because he breaks down his story a lot of times on different podcasts. But you got to just willing to listen to their story sometimes. And because if you're a creator, or again, doesn't matter if you create content or not, if you consume content, still listen to how these creators out here are willing to just get opportunities because they still presented themselves. So take that into your life, what you're doing right now. You feel me? Like if it's a career choice, whatever, it doesn't matter. If you were still in school, it don't matter. You feel me? Understand you just got to apply yourself and be ready when your opportunity comes and just take advantage of it the best way you can.
It's that genuineness, like when you don't know nobody's watching, and you could just see it like right then and there. He was happy for, everything that was going on for me. Like he just ain't no hater, man. A lot of them OGs be hating, man.
I want to follow up on that because we have a lot of comedians that come on the show, and it's always a balance. It's always like it's stories like that with OGs that looked out and all that type of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's a solo business. It's a one-on-one business. You know what I mean?
And he's speaking that right there. That's what I'm speaking on, y'all. So again, even in this conversation, they're speaking on 101. It's still a solo business. Like again, you have to. It's a dog eat dog world out there for sure. You got to look out for your best interest and your best interest only sometimes, for sure. But when you got years in the game like a Mike Epps, you're not worried about a young bull coming up in your lane. You feel me? Because you're confident in your own skill set. You're confident in your career. You're confident in what you accomplished as a comedian, as a movie star, everything. You feel me? So your mindset isn't on, the next person I see coming up, I'm looking up as competition. I ain't gonna look out for him. You know what I'm saying? You see that a lot of times, maybe in a rap or hip hop, where the older generation may not want to work with the younger rapper. You feel me? Or vice versa, because of it's still competition to them, not trying to see eye to eye about certain stuff. But an issue like this, how he just spoke on, at the end of the day, it's still a one-on-one, a solo business. Mike Epps is still including, this comedian Mojo Brooks to, get an opportunity. And he said it's his third year, y'all. This ain't the first time him doing it. It's his third year going on tour, or for a tour like this they do for the comedy tour. You feel me? So think about that. This is his third year. So this is 3 times he's done experience this with Mike Epps, and now he's understanding the business of it. So I'll let him finish on that.
And like at the end of the day, it gets very competitive.
Yeah.
Has it been sort of tough for you sort of navigating that industry, especially when it's so cutthroat like that?
Yeah, you know what? Because the type of dude I am. Like you say it's a one-on-one thing, bro, but I'm not competing. You know what I'm saying? Like all I see is me and what I'm doing. Like I ain't looking over here. I don't care how many shows you sold out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you sold out 8, congratulations. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be like, you sold out 8, watch me go do 12. Even though I know I can go do 12, like, that's not how I'm looking at it. I don't want to go do 12 just because you did 8.
And that's a big part right there, y'all, is that we don't got to compare ourselves to our competition all the time. You really shouldn't compare yourself to anybody at all. You know how they say comparison is the thief of joy. But like how he spoke right there, if someone sold out 8 shows, I'm not trying to go sell out 10 because you sold 8. I'm just trying to go do 10 because that's where my talent, that's where my mindset is at. That's how I'm wired. I know the value I bring to this craft. You feel me? So just having that level of confidence in himself is not going to make him jealous or envy of someone else if they were to have more success than him or less success than him, because you're not comparing yourself to other people. You're comparing yourself to yourself. You feel me? That's the message right there, y'all. I hope y'all following me for sure. I'll let him finish up after this. Go ahead, Mojo.
So, I've always believed in just running your own race.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? When they in the Olympics and they racing, man, you don't ever see them looking over to see where they at.
Yeah.
That's gonna slow you down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I always just kind of, I hate it because it's dudes that, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, come on, bro, we can do something together. Like, let's do something together.
And that's a major thing right there, y'all. So a couple things. He mentioned about running your own race, focusing on your own lane. So anybody who understands track and field, when you run in the lane, you can't step out your lane because you get disqualified. You're not looking to the person to your left. You're not looking to the person to your right, because if you're doing that, you're gonna mess up your form. Your focus isn't going to be on running straight or running the curve or whatever event you're doing, on finishing across the finish line and running the best time that you can run. So that's a great analogy that he just used right there, to always focus on your own race. Don't worry about the person next to you, what they doing. Worry about yourself, because you worry about yourself, then you're going to be able to reach these heights that you're so far pushing for. You feel me? And I'll let him finish up. It's like another 30 seconds, a minute on this clip. And then we'll go to the other side of things, where it's Jason Wilson and Ryan Clark conversation. And that right there is going to be how a lot of men need to learn how to communicate and speak in order to resolve conflict without everything always got to be a dispute on social media, and women too. But we're speaking from a man's perspective. You feel me? So you just understand that sometimes you read something through text can be misinterpreted. Sometimes just a phone call away, or if you got somebody's number, keep it off the public. But we'll get into that after this.
And they don't want to do it because in their mind, we competing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they not understanding, like, yo, it ain't even necessarily about being on the same team. It's much more like being an individual, like you said, being you by yourself, but still knowing how to create, you know what I'm saying, with other, with other comedians, or, even, when you hooping, like, you don't want to show up to the team as this individual. Y'all a team. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, y'all got to come together to make something happen. Even if you're on the team for 1 year. You know what I'm saying? Let's do something together. And I think, to go back, that's what's dope about what Mike Epps doing, with the We Done Ones tour. It's a bunch of us on there. It's me, it's DC Young Fly, it's Carlos Miller.
But right there, chat, and we'll end it there, because he's going to go on a little bit other talking about the actual tour itself, which is dope too. So if you're a comedy fan, that's definitely something you want to look into if you haven't looked into it before. But like he said, you want to be able to have yourself, like, do what you're talented at. You feel me? But you also want to be able to collab and work with other people, and not just be such an individual where people don't want to work with you or don't want to do anything with you. They don't want to collab with you. You want to be able to take your talents and work with somebody else, because it's going to enhance your ability. You feel what I mean? So that's why it's important to look at, to listen to that, man. And then we'll listen to this. Jason Wilson.
I run a podcast solo. No producer, no editor, no tech.
The Jason Wilson interview with Ryan Clark and the Pivot.
Podcast beef, Jay. So I'm gonna tell the world about our one beef.
And I'll let you start it here. And again, if you haven't seen this guy, let me pull it up real quick. Sorry about that. On the screen. Oh, yeah, I gotta change it. If you haven't seen this guy, again, he is a motivational speaker. He also does a lot of a motivational speaker, does a lot of things for like personal development, spiritual growth. So you're gonna hear him referring to God, religion, how he gave himself to Christ. If you don't want to hear that message, you can, filter it out a little bit, but listen to how he speaks on all of that. So if you are a religious person, understand what he's saying and stuff like that. So he does refer to God as Yeshua. Again, it's a Hebrew text thing, so it's not about pushing any Hebrew things on you guys either. I'm just showing you someone from a male's perspective on how to not only resolve conflict, but also how you take accountability and acknowledge your own wrongdoing without pointing blame at the other individual. And then that is how sometimes you're able to move forward and further a conversation. That's what this conversation is about. So I want you guys to tune into this clip and just see the growth that these two are having and this open heart to heart they're having right here on camera.
We had me right now. Me and Jay had beef before. You don't know that? Yeah, we had beef.
Besides you asking me to walk here,
Hey.
don't bring out the line. I heard about the line already.
We were talking about domestic violence at one point, and I said that I see it differently when a woman hits a man as opposed to a man hitting a woman.
And before they speak on this conversation, now listen, chat, I ain't gonna hold y'all. I was on the side of Ryan Clark prior to hearing the full length of this conversation. I was on the side of Ryan Clark. Listen, if you're a dude, I don't believe you should be able to let a woman hit you. You shouldn't hit her back, but you should be able to either physically restrain her, de-escalate the situation, remove yourself from the situation. Like, don't sit there and get abused. You feel me? Physically by her. Now, emotionally, like, they're going to speak on the emotional impact of that, which I'll let these two men speak on too. But I was on the side of Ryan Clark. But once I heard Jason Wilson explain his reason why he took the other side, that you have to worry about the emotional impact of the male if they're in a domestic violence issue with the woman, like if they're getting beat by the woman in this case. That is why it was important for me to show you guys this video, because we may know someone who is in domestic violence themselves. If you're a male, you are, hey, get yourself out of that situation. But listen to how these two men are able to have a dialogue, and they're friends, but they had a conversation on camera to really show the growth that their friendship is evolving right here in front of our eyes.
You commented on it, and because I have your number, I was telling Chan about this. Because I have your number, I was like, I'm just going to text it, right? Because the one thing, because we actually weren't fighting or debating, we were having a conversation.
Yes.
A lot of times people, especially on social media, they can't recognize that two adult men who respect one another are having a conversation.
And that's a fact, chat, because we all know as soon as someone disagrees with you in the comment section, or if you're responding back and forth with somebody, whether you know them or not on social media, people deem that as arguing or debating or something like that. Nah, sometimes, like, I can't speak from a woman's perspective, but from a male's perspective, when we're having dialogue, especially through social media, most of our conversations aren't going to be personal. You feel me? Like, we may either joke around or something like that, but for the most part, it's not really beef there. It's like they said, we were just having a conversation. But the maturity aspect of that conversation was that we have each other's phone number. So instead of Ryan Clark, he put a video up, like he said, that men shouldn't be experiencing domestic violence from a woman, and Mr. Wilson on the other end was speaking from a different. He agreed but disagreed with Ryan's stance in the video. But instead of Ryan Clark responding back and through social media, where again words can be misinterpreted over text, it happens all the time. We all know that. So Ryan Clark, instead of responding back on social media, he texts Mr. Wilson on the separately. And then they're going to speak on how that conversation evolved, and then you'll hear the rest of their thoughts as well in this situation. So I'll let them finish talking.
So I wanted to take it offline and do that. When you explained, okay, that you had been through this with a young man and had to protect him, that just didn't register to me, right? Because, like, the way I see it is, if a young man is putting his hands on a woman, not only is it the emotional and the mental toll and the abuse and that trauma, there's just a physical mismatch that I just don't feel like a woman can overcome.
And that's facts, chat. That's facts.
And for a man, I do feel like there may be some sort of emotional imprisonment or mental imprisonment, but you have the physicality in most cases to remove yourself from that. Can you explain to me now, because I still didn't truly get what you were explaining to me. Can you explain to me now why you see domestic abuse the same from both sides?
And again, before he goes, I will say this. I'm on Ryan Clark's side in this regards. I don't see it equal. I don't see that if a man is to hit a woman, I don't see it the same as women hitting a man. I still don't think it's still equal. I don't think it's still the same physical or emotional impact that it has on an individual. Now, Mr. Wilson is going to give his side of it. So he does explain this in a more eloquent way, or elaborates in a very good way as far as where his stance is coming from. So again, they both agree domestic violence is wrong, which I agree. It is wrong. Nobody should be putting their hands on each other. That's already understood. But sometimes these conversations do have to happen in order for us to actually get the full picture of everything. You feel me? So I'm going to let Mr. Wilson speak on his standpoint on why he thinks that domestic violence, whether it's a man hitting a woman or a woman hitting a man, it's the same impact. And I'm going to let him explain his stance. And you guys will kind of hopefully understand where he is coming from and why we should look to eliminate domestic violence altogether. Why it shouldn't be a one-way street or another way. It should always be, hey, keep your hands and feet, objects, whatever it is, to yourself. You feel me? So I'll let him go ahead and speak a little bit further on this.
I need to see that post, brother, because I don't. My mother was abused, and I don't see it from both sides. I think I may have came from the angle of us not really knowing what happened.
Gotcha.
But to your question about physicality being enough for a man to stop this, that ain't it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the emotions. One of my martial art instructors said, emotions are great servants, but poor masters.
Now that right there is a bar, chat. I can't hold you. That right there was a bar. We got to hold on. I'm going to rewind that back just a couple of seconds. Listen to what he just said right here. Listen to what he just said. The man can stop the physical impact of it. But listen to that quote he just said. I'm going to let him say it one more time for y'all. That's a bar right there, man.
That ain't it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the emotions. One of my martial art instructors said, emotions are great servants, but poor masters.
You feel me? We got to be able to be in control of our emotions. And this is what they're going to get into in this conversation. But being able to be in control of our emotions, being able to, because if we don't control our emotions, we're going to act off impulse. We act off impulses while a lot of people do things that they wind up regretting. You feel me? So you need to be able to filter that out. And as men, you got to be in control of your emotions, hands down. But women too. That's why he's going to speak on this. And I think it's very important for y'all to listen to this message. That's why instead of me ending the live, we're going to keep it going so you can hear these messages, because it's supposed to teach you something. I hope you learned something here, guys. If you're still in the chat, hope you learned something here. And if not, I'll post a clip of this later on. But I need you guys to understand what he's saying and listen to him explain further. Go ahead, Mr. Wilson. I'll let you go right now.
When you let them rule you, you become their slave. What stops a man from doing this? What stops a man from alcoholism? What stops a man from abandoning his children? Yeah, he's strong. What is that? It's here and here.
And again, look where he pointed to. Heart, mental, bro. Your heart, you know what I'm saying? That's where all your feelings is at. But your brain is the logic. You feel me? As men, you got to be strong both. You got to be able to feel, because you shouldn't just not have any emotions as a male. But you also got to be able to think logically. Don't let your emotions overrun your logic. That's what he's basically saying. You got to be strong in both areas. Too many times, men are strong in one area. We either feel a lot, but we don't got logic. Or we think we are logical thinkers, but we don't need emotion. Nah, you got to be smart both, my brother. You got to be smart, emotional intelligence, and intelligence up here. But it takes time to get to that point in time. Now, these are older men. So for our young men out here, this is why it's important for you to listen to this. Even if you in your teens, your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, 70s, 80s, whatever. You can always learn from these type of conversations, because these are about evolving as a human being. So from men or women, but from a men's perspective, we got to be strong. Because if we want to be leaders in our families and our communities, feel me, for the next generation, you got to be able to understand the difference between being a strong emotional person and also a strong intelligent person. You feel what I'm saying? So again, I'm going to let him finish the rest of, well, not the whole thing, but he'll go a little bit further into it. And again, if you haven't heard of Mr. Jason Wilson, this is you want to follow him on Instagram too. He's a lot of he teaches a lot. He's a karate or martial arts instructor. You feel me? So he be showing a lot of different things on just, you know what I'm saying, how you release energy to release your emotions. He touches a lot on that type of stuff, y'all. But I'll let him explain further what his point was.
When you're mentally and emotionally unhealthy, you can't govern anything. You see it in boxing when a fighter gets in his feelings and you got one that's still poised, bang, 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 bang. You got one that's being aggressive and one being assertive, only punching when the target is there. The one who is a slave to his emotions gets knocked out. So until a man can learn how to navigate his emotions without succumbing to him, stop running from them, and start facing them, he's always going to be that slave.
And again, he ain't saying you're a slave to, you feel me, the system. He's saying you're a slave to your emotions because you're not in control of your emotions. So again, we are speaking on how men need to be able to control their emotions better and not act off impulse because something got you mad at a moment, you get upset at a moment, and you just thinking, you know what I'm saying? We spoke yesterday on the young cornerback from the Lions, Terry Arnold, how he had his about $250,000 in items like cash and luxuries items stolen from his Airbnb rental. Now, people would say, yo, go get your stuff back, blah, blah, blah. But now he's facing potential life in prison and not playing in NFL because instead of calling the cops, reporting a robbery, he went ahead and made the irrational decision, which again, I understand it's the heat of the moment. So it's always a little bit different when you're going through something like that. I'm using him as an example because it fits into this. He made an irrational decision to go and get his items back, but he wound up robbing the wrong people were set up. Basically is what they're saying. So we don't know if he's going to beat the case or not, but it falls in line to what he just said. Don't become a slave to your emotions. You know what I'm saying? You have to be the master of your emotions, not the slave to your emotions. It's the wordplay, I know, but that means that's a lot. It's two different things, people, two different things. So I'll let him finish explaining his point.
Road rage, you name it. It was in Iona, Michigan, two brothers, white brothers, were with their families. I teach this. It's heartrending. Got into an argument. Who was over in the parking lot and shoot each other to death? And I got the pictures because I love putting faces with situations like that. And I asked men, how do you think those two men felt dying in their own blood, their warm blood on their bodies and their children and wives crying over them in that moment? Do you
Now that situation that was my first time hearing that. That was crazy. But we all know road rage is especially in America. I'm not sure how it is in other countries around the world, but road rage in America, like I don't know if you guys seen that one movie where it kind of explained, not that per se. That was a crazy situation itself. But like he's mentioning, if they were able to just control that impulsive decision, like he said, it's not about how you feel at the time as a man, you feel me? Or in a woman. And if it's a woman, as a woman, it's not a time how you feel in that moment. It's those decisions you make where in this case you had two white guys who wound up shooting each other to death. But now their kids are without a father, their wives are without a husband. You feel me? Now they're not here no more. Like they're not coming back because of that decision of a road rage incident led to them having a shootout and they both die. But like he said, how do you think they felt at that moment in time, dying in their own blood? Because you know what I mean? You got gunshot wounds, you're going to be bleeding out. But it's like you accepting death in a moment where, damn, if I didn't act right here or do that, if I didn't make that decision right there, if I would have just kept driving instead of making that U-turn, or if he'd have kept driving instead of trying to cut, you know what I mean? That's probably rushing through their head. But now you got to think about the impact of that. Those two men are taking out their families forever. You feel me? So that's why I'm saying the emotional impact that our decisions have on us are also have physical impact too. It all ties into what we were talking about earlier with the domestic violence situation. If you just de-escalate the situation, remove yourself from that situation, you are preventing yourself from, you know what I'm saying, something fatal happen or you being in jail or her ending up in jail. It's about one of us have to be the logical adult to get out of that situation and be in control of our emotions to not succumb to those type of incidents. But I'm gonna let him finish up on his point. But again, I'm hoping you guys are learning something here, because I know we speak about a lot of stuff on this channel, but this right here is just as important as learning about sports and stuff. You feel me?
I think they probably said, man, if I could hit rewind. See, that's what it does when you're an emotionally stable man.
Oh, hold on. It's an ad. 1 second, y'all.
You can hit rewind before you push play. You can see it unfold.
I'm gonna rewind. Hold on. I'm gonna rewind that back 1 second. 1 second for y'all, because that commercial kind of messed it up. But I want y'all to hear what he just said, because this is also the key in this whole breakdown right now, y'all. This right here is the key of this whole breakdown. Listen to what he just said. Listen to what he just said right here. This is the key of the whole message right here. Oh, let me bring it back up. Sorry.
See, that's what it does when you're an emotionally stable man. You can hit rewind before you push play. You can see it unfold and say, this is not advantageous for me to do this. Time to abort. But as long as culture promotes, first and foremost, I apologize, brother, because this is something I learned.
Now, he's going to speak on the accountability portion of everything. But I wish he would have kept going a little bit further. He obviously wanted to go back to Ryan Clark's initial comment and about the video and things of that nature between why they had that initial, we'll call it a disagreement, minor disagreement, right? So he's going to go back to finishing that point, and I'll let him finish his point as well, because it's still a great message. But what he was just speaking on right there, you're able to press rewind when you're in control of your emotions. When you're not in control of your emotions, you're going to act first and then wish you could press rewind. By that time, the action has already been done. There is no rewind button at that point in time. You feel me? That's why he said, if you're emotionally if you're emotionally stable, you can press rewind. If you aren't, you're going to wish you could press rewind. Don't let that go over your head. That's why I'm showing y'all this clip. Like, sometimes, I mean, I could say a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying, I may inspire people or understand people understand where I'm coming from. But other times too, these videos out here too, that's why I'm giving these men credit. Because the Pivot is one of the, I hate to call them a sports podcast because they do sports, but they're one of just the best overall podcasts in regards to just having genuine conversations with their guests, but also being able to get a meaning or message out there at the same time. You feel me? Whether it's a conversation like this, their Michael Beasley conversation, the Barack Obama conversation, the Tom Brady, like any person they're able to get on there, they're able to get the most out of their guests because they're able to, you know what I'm saying? It's a 50-minute, hour-long video, but they're able to get the most out of their guests because it's just genuine conversations that the masses love to hear. You feel what I mean? So that's why it's a great overall show itself. So shout out to the Pivot, one of my favorite podcasts. And mind you, this show started from I Am Athlete. If you ever heard of I Am Athlete a few years ago, these three gentlemen, Ryan Clark, Channing Crowder, and Fred Taylor, were all part of the I Am Athlete family. They wind up leaving that because of like contract stuff. I don't know. There's a lot of business stuff that they spoke a little bit about, but they didn't go all the way in detail. There's just basically a disagreement when it came to their ownership or partnership and that was going to be eventually the podcast portion of it. You see what I mean? They wanted a fair share of the pie where you had Brandon Marshall, who was the owner of everything, because he was the one who put the money behind the whole channel, his facilities, all that stuff. So he was thinking differently. Like, I already funded everything. You guys are just a part of the actual show. Like, I'll give you a percentage, but not the percentage you asking for. So instead of them staying there, they wound up leaving that, creating their own show called The Pivot, which now, again, is the biggest outside of probably Nightcap and the Pat McAfee show. The Pivot is probably right under those two in regards to being one of the bigger sports podcasts that get a very good interviews out. So I'm going to finish up on that. I just want to give you all the background story of The Pivot as well. This isn't some random people. These are, you know what I'm saying, football players who just know how to have genuine, great conversations with people. They know how to communicate well. They're former football players, you know what I'm saying? They are great men overall, but they know how to have good conversations as well.
It's not about the intent. It's about the impact of the intent. So although I meant well, I believe it may have even hurt you to some extent. And what I mean by that is like, I'm kind of challenging you in front of people and we know each other. Mm-hmm. I should have hit you on your phone. So I apologize for that publicly.
I respect that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, seriously. And I got reminded of that recently with a popular rapper.
And before he gets into his closing remarks on this subject, listen to that. Again, Ryan Clark made a video. Mr. Wilson left a comment on the video. Ryan Clark reached out through text to speak with Mr. Wilson instead of responding on social media. There was no argument that took place here. But even though no argument took place, even though nothing bad came from the situation, he still took accountability for his own actions. That there will even be a misunderstanding with anything. See, that's what I'm talking about. If you take accountability for your actions that you're doing or that's being displayed, that's where it's important for people to understand that you will resolve a lot of your issues. And sometimes you just be the bigger person. Because when you act as the bigger person in a situation where you may not be at fault with anything, that other person on the other end is also going to be willing to, you know what I mean, accept accountability on their end. So that's why you heard them earlier say, you know, I apologize. Sometimes that's all it takes for you to move to that next portion of the conversation. But men, we have a lot of pride. We won't ever say we apologize for something like this because you say, oh, it's not that deep. Like, oh, you feel me? But sometimes it's not about being that deep. When you're trying to connect on a deeper level with the individual, that's where it becomes deeper than what you think. You feel me? So that's what he's speaking on. That now it's not all the time that what you post on social media or how you respond to people on social media. If you know that person personally, you may not need to respond at all through social media. You could just give them a call or a text instead of posting. You know what I mean? We comment on our friends' posts for support if they're an up-and-coming content creator. But in their case, both of these men are already successful on social media. They already have a successful platform. They already have each other's phone number. So if he didn't comment on that post that Ryan Clark put up, there wouldn't be a difference in the conversation because Ryan Clark is reaching masses already. You feel me? So whatever, Mr. Wilson, like he said, if I disagree with you, I could have just shot you a text or I could have just called you. But he's going to speak even further on why that was important because the next example he gives here is also going to show you why it's important to understand the difference between the two. It's a difference between commenting on somebody's post because you want to support them and get them engagement, but then also when they are referring to a completely different situation, how you should respond, how you should handle it. So I'll let him go ahead and finish that.
And I just agree with the old longtime friend of mine who made a statement about something he said. I get a text message with a screenshot from what I said and said, OG, this hurt. Mm-hmm. And I looked at that and the Most High was like, you got to understand, you my ambassador. You speak when I speak to you and through you. You don't speak without me. Mm. I called the brother. We talked an hour. I apologized. Hey, man, I want to thank you for sharpening me because I'm not my own no more. When I surrender.
And again, he's going to get into a religious side of things. So if anybody who is religious, I would tell you to continue watching. If you don't believe in religion or whatever the case may be, look at it like this. Don't, I guess, pitch it to those words. Just take the overall message that he's saying. You feel me? So when he started speaking about the flesh, about the creator speaking through him, while God speaking through him, again, he's going to refer to him as Yeshua and also as Abba, which means he'll speak about Abba being the father. It's Hebrew things. You feel me? So if you know, you know. If you don't, you know, sometimes you get a little educated right here. But again, it's not about the religious portion of it. It's about submitting to his maker and taking accountability for him acting out of flesh. You feel me? Through his own actions and not communicating through the Most High. Not taking time to think about what he was saying out there before he hit send on a comment that to someone he know again, These are people he know personally. He's commenting on things, and he isn't a degrading individual. He's not degrading anybody, but the simple fact that sometimes when you hear something from certain people that you respect, what they can say can affect you more than they would know. But if you never tell them that, like if that rapper he's mentioned never mentioned that call or mentioned that his feelings about how he felt about his comment, then also he wouldn't have known that. So if somebody you do respect has done something to you where you felt it was, you know what I'm saying, like it could have been handled differently, you still have to go about it a respectful way in order for them to understand where they were wrong. If you come across angry, irate, cursing at somebody, whatever the case may be, they may not receive the message the best way. So this is why it's important to learn how to communicate your feelings and your emotions, whether it's a simple conversation on the phone, through text, or in person. Or, you know what I mean, however it is, verbally, non-verbally, whatever the case may be. But that's why it's important, and I'll let him finish up, but that's why it's important to learn how to communicate, especially as adults. Too many of our adults act like they're adolescents, like they're little kids or something, when we're not there no more. You feel me? We are now adults. We have to handle ourselves a certain way. You know what I'm saying? It's not having a false image out there. No. That's why he's going to speak on that. It's not about the flesh. It's not about the false image that you may see on the outside, but it's about the inside, how I'm communicating, how I'm living, my character, my moral, my values. What do I stand by? What do I represent? That's what he's speaking on. You feel me? So I'll let him go ahead and finish.
In my life to Christ Yeshua, I'm not my own no more. What you see, it really ain't me, it's him in me. I need to be very prayerful when I speak because I represent him. This is why people don't believe. The scriptures say the unbelievers blaspheme our God because of the believers, the actions.
Mm-hmm.
You see? Yeah. So here it is.
That's also a fact too. We all know people who, they could be devout Christians, Muslims, whatever the case may be. They may be preaching everything out there every day, but they ain't living righteous themselves. So people who don't believe in religion or don't believe in what they believe in may use those people as an example to label the whole group. But like he said, that's why it's important for you to go back to what you believe in itself. You feel me? And you just have to really understand that a lot of things can be handled through conversation or just through understanding if you just take time to understand stuff and not always react off emotion, not always react just off impulse. That's what he's speaking on. And then also, if you do believe in, like I say, if you believe in God, then that message is for you right there. The flesh is the flesh, but you need to be in one with your creator, you know what I'm saying? And one with the Most High, and one with God, you know what I'm saying? And whatever God you believe in, take your time to build that relationship up. And like he also mentioned, it's not about the flesh. It's about being able to have a good relationship with his creator and then having him speak through him per se. That's basically saying he's in a better conscience to give out a message. That's what he's saying right there. Or that's what I took from it. You feel me? I ain't gonna put words in his mouth, but what I'm taking from there is that when he's able to let God speak through him per se, because he considers himself an ambassador, not a prophet, but like an ambassador, someone who pushes that positive message about God and stuff like that, that he allows the Lord to speak through him. You feel me? So that's his perspective through that. And rightfully so.
I knew better. I said, you know what? Thank you, Abba, which is Father in Hebrew, for your grace. I'm not doing that no more. So I apologize to you because you my man.
No, but that's the thing. Like, and they know me very well. That was also though my respect for you wasn't going to make me do that public.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, I know him. We can text.
But that's what make it even worse what I did.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like, and so, you know, and that's why we always have to be on guard. You got to kill the flesh because at any given moment, you can make that mistake. That's why I stay humble. That's why I don't judge people. You know, like if I was in that position, I hope I wouldn't do that. But condemnation closes the door.
Yeah, that was really a chat, man. Like I said, that was a great conversation. That was just a 6-minute clip of their interview. So again, if you want to check the full interview out, it's the Pivot podcast on YouTube. I believe they're like on Apple Music and stuff like that too. But sorry about that. It's hot and it's hot everywhere out here on the East Coast. It is a heat wave, especially in Delaware. But I'm not even sweating. It looks like I am, but I'm not. It's just the light is right here. It's a LED joint. You know how it is when you're doing streaming, bro. The lights be on, all that, whatever. But long story short is that was just a 6-minute clip of the full interview. So if you want to see that full interview, definitely tune in to the Pivot podcast. And that interview came out about a month ago, I think. Yeah, that clip was released a month ago. So the full interview would have came out a month ago. But you won't be disappointed. Again, his name is Jason Wilson. He's a best-selling author. He speaks on everything, guys, about masculinity. You feel me? How men can be better. But he doesn't speak from like a Kevin Samuels standpoint. He'd be the opposite of a Kevin Samuels. You feel me? Just get you a wife, treat her right, follow the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Like, live in your purpose, discipline, stand strong, be vulnerable. You feel me? All that. Everything that our young men need to hear these days, along with everything we listen to in music, but these messages we're missing out here, but is the real issue sometimes, where we aren't able to appreciate someone like that while they're here because they're able to actually articulate themselves well. You know what I'm saying? That's someone who should be, if we're being honest, like the BET Awards, getting it's an entertainment thing, but that's someone who should be at the BET Awards handing out an award or receiving an award. You feel what I'm saying? Because that's going to be a national media grab for him, a Grammys, an Oscar. You feel me? Like, that's why it's important for people like that to get the spotlight. When we put other people out there who are ignorant, I don't call them clowns, but they basically don't portray the best image of us. You feel me? That's what I'm talking about. We need more images of us like that out there and give them a bigger spotlight than other people we give opportunity to just because they may be more talented in a sport or an entertainer per se, but we missing the overall message as a community that we need to really be hearing because they're not going to promote that everywhere. He's still successful in his own right, yes, but he's not going to get that amount of clicks as someone who's being ignorant. We'll just leave it at that. You feel me? But that's why I wanted to show y'all those clips because again, like Mojo Brooks said, run your race, stay in your lane. Don't compare your journey to other people's journey. Focus on yourself and you'll be able to be successful. You feel me? Don't worry about what someone else is doing. Just focus on your craft, put your time and effort into yourself and work on networking and collabing with other like-minded individuals because you will meet people out here who want to collab, but they may not have that same drive as you. You feel me? They may not have that same passion as you, but you'll find people out here that do. You just got to be willing to, you know what I'm saying? It's going to take trial and error sometimes. That's all. And then like Mr. Jason Wilson and Ryan Clark spoke about, you may have a difference of an opinion on a topic, but don't let that lead to anything further than just a difference in opinion. Be able to have a mature conversation in order to really grow together. So that's all, chat. Listen, we could do more stuff like this too. So tomorrow night, if we don't have a panel of people on, I'll do some research on some other topics that we could do things like this. Because honestly, reacting to videos and things like that too is another lane that we can do as far as, you know what I mean, just overall content. You feel me? So again, my name is Miles Stacks. I'm gonna end it here, guys. Listen, have a great night. It's 12. Yes, it's past midnight over here. I'm gonna go live on TikTok. I said that an hour ago, but now I'm really gonna go live on TikTok. I want to give you guys just a little more, you know what I'm saying? I don't always gotta be amped up all the time. Sometimes I really just be chilling. And this is how I'm actually able to, you know what I'm saying? This is where I just study. This is why I do a lot of my self-reflection time too. So even when I'm listening to Mr. Wilson give his talk right there, I'm also reflecting too, like, yo, I could really handle a lot of situations better, which I do, you feel me? But I'm always a person about evolving and doing better. So I don't care if I'm reaching new heights today. I want to be reaching new heights 10, 15 years from now. Every day I want to feel like I'm leaving an impact, a positive impact on myself, but I want to make sure my son is understanding that message too. People I'm surrounding myself understand that message too. You feel me? It's a work in progress. It's not going to happen overnight, but that's the goal. You feel what I mean, y'all? So listen, again, we'll do a lot more nights like this too. Again, we cover everything, y'all. So it's a good lane to be in. Again, if you're new to the page, hit a like, comment your thoughts as well. Like, what were some things that you had to work on yourself to reach your new? What did you do to progress in life? You know what I'm saying? What did you work on? What was a weakness that you can, if you didn't turn into a strength, what was something you identified in yourself that you were able to push through? You feel me? So for myself, and I ended after this, it was the mindset. Always had a strong mind. I always did a lot of different things, but my mindset was all over the place. I had to really just focus my attention and hunker down sometimes to really just lock in with certain things. You feel me? That's what I had to do. My mindset had to change. It was from, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. No, let's focus on this and make this a priority. Because if you keep doing 101 things, you're doing 101 things, but you're not gonna have the results you're looking for because you're not giving things time to actually build. You're just doing something. So for me, I had to really hone in on a skill, hone in on a craft. I'm not a master at it, you feel me? But I'm also not a jack of all trades. So I had to pick one. You feel me? That was my realistic conversation with myself. You can either act like you're a jack of all trades, or you can really sit down, learn something, and then go from there. Because once you learn something, then you're able to teach yourself better habits on how to obtain a new skill. You know what I'm saying? Obtain a new habit that can make you, even not just about money, to make you happy overall itself. So that's what my focus has been on. And that's where my mindset is at nowadays. You feel me? So that's my experience. What is your guys' experience? Leave that in the comments because we are in the stream here. Again, my name is Miles Stacks. Thanks again for tuning in. If you're still in the chat with us, we are going live on TikTok in about 10, 15 minutes. I'm going to go upstairs, get something to drink. I'm not eating no food. It's past midnight, so I'm not getting no food. Probably just get a little bit of water, you know what I'm saying? Stay with the sunflower seeds, you know what I mean? Flush it out with some water, no high salt intake. You feel me? So that's the real importance of these conversations, y'all. So again, that interview right there with Jason Wilson on the Pivot podcast. He spoke on masculinity. I'm sorry. Certain words I do get tongue tied on. I mean, I promise y'all, I'm not, as I say all the time, I'm not illiterate. It's just I talk fast. So sometimes words get, you know what I'm saying, tangled up a little bit. But masculinity, you feel me? That's what that conversation is going to be about. And we'll do more clips like this tomorrow for you guys. But thank you again for tuning into the stream. Sorry I'm rambling. I ramble a lot. But I'm really going to end it here. And I'll see you guys on TikTok in a few. Have a good night, y'all. Peace.